little pause there because I realized I hadn't started streaming yet. This call to all the Twitch and YouTube people, so just wanted to make sure they could chime in. But now that everyone's here, welcome.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that Bed Bath Beyond can say, "Yeah, we lost a lot more money than we were expecting," and everyone's like bullish.
But that's because the membership to their club is up, right, by 6 million. So there's that.
And they're taking significant steps to reduce their spending. So the all the fears of bankruptcy are, at least for the moment, allayed. I suppose.
Sorry,
go ahead. I suppose the fears for GameStop and AMC. I mean, like, are AMC and GameStop just rising, in sympathy with Bed Bath and Beyond, or what's the deal there?
I think we're gonna start seeing as the month goes on, a lot of people who had done tax loss harvesting are gonna jump back in.
I always felt that tax loss harvesting was a little bit of a meme, but I'd love to read some papers on it.
Party City is another one that's pumping opinion.
In theory, if you think Bed Bath & Beyond is going to go bankrupt and completely die, then you should be excited that it's pumping, right? It's just giving you free money on the way down. So if anything, you should be like, awesome, go up, keep going up, right?
I'll let it keep going up long enough for those $1 puts to get cheap again.
So I actually invested quite a bit into BBBY yesterday. Bought about 1,000 shares, and I think realistically we're looking at $8 to $10 by January 20th. Again, if you look at the option chains, there's enormous amount of pressure compared with the insanely high volume the last couple of days. I mean, it's all speculation, but that's what I'm doing.
I mean, it has had some ridiculous run-ups in the past. So, do you have a price target before you jump that ship?
Yeah, so the last two squeezes, last two pumps, I believe it went to 30, and then the latest one it went to 16. So just based on that, I'm thinking realistically, once it gets to 8, I'll take a little bit of profit, and then once it gets to 10, I'll take a little bit of profit again, and then I'll see, and then I'll try to cash out the rest on the way down.
Wow, a guy who's invested in Bed Bath Beyond with an exit strategy. They do exist.
Yes, we do.
My thesis on why BBBY and GME are pumping is because they are accepting cryptocurrencies for payments. So my thought is that they've received those digital assets or traded them for their in-store goods and have been holding them. So they may be riding this wave that, if they're holding assets, they could be riding the appreciation of those assets.
I agree with that. And then you pair that up with at least minimum 45% short interest that's reported, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. And you got yourself a rocket ship.
But if it were the crypto thingy, I don't see any significant change in the crypto. Like neither the Bitcoin is up more than like 7% weekly. That's like, rookie numbers for Bitcoin.
No, we're not talking about any actual individual cryptocurrency. It's that these companies started exchanging or have assets in crypto.
Yeah, but just like that, how as soon as Robinhood included some, let's say Dogecoin shoot up. It did not happen this time. Like if the Bed Bath Beyond or let's say GameStop is exchanging in crypto, the crypto prices should go up, right?
Yeah, but GameStop has always accepted payments in crypto. It's not. I don't think that's a new thing.
Got it.
Yeah, but if you watch the trend from last year, I mean, it was a downward trend all year. And if they had been collecting and stacking appropriately, and I don't know what their holding situation is, that could be a good question. But I mean, if they're sitting on a year's worth of assets that are appreciating 1% on average a week, that's a lot of income.
I'm sorry. Are you saying play GameStop because they might own crypto and you're bullish on crypto? Is that the
Yep.
idea? Because
Yep,
if
that's
so,
what I
then
was
just play
talking
like
about.
Coin or Mara or any of the other crypto. Like, why do it so backwards?
I thought we might get some arbitrage money.
But if you're bullish on crypto, then don't play a company that may or may not have crypto. Just play the crypto miners, right? Like, do it directly.
No, I'm just speculating as to why you're seeing rocket ships when they're getting poor guidance on earnings.
Did you say bad earnings on BBBY?
Did you repeat that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Did you refer to BBBY having bad earnings?
Well, somebody came out recently and said that Bed Bath & Beyond's earnings, or their revenue looks like they're going into bankruptcy. And so that's been the talk for the past 2 weeks. And my thesis is that they're not maybe generating any additional revenue. They're just gaining value.
Yeah, but what they've also done recently is they've shut down a bunch of stores, and they have a plan to shut down, I believe, 34 more in 4 different states. So, okay, so they're going to save on rent. They're going to save on, they sold out a bunch of their inventory. So they have, I believe, like 500 million liquid assets as of right now. That doesn't spell bankruptcy. That sounds the opposite. We got at least another year for the company.
I don't think they just rent the buildings either. I think they actually own a few of them, so that's gonna give them a big revenue boost.
Isn't there? I mean, I'll go look up the specific numbers if we need to go there, but I'm almost positive their total debt is greater than the combined value of all their assets right now.
Which is what I was going to ask. What's their debt to asset ratio? Because if it's out of the zoos, then I wouldn't even touch this thing with a 1,000-foot pole.
I mean, how long does it take for them to blow through $500 million? Because that also means they're going to have all the stores they close is also going to reduce their sales.
They could ride e-commerce to the wheels, but I wouldn't even bank on that. I wouldn't be surprised if they went bankrupt in the next 18 months.
Apparently, SUGov is having something that has been described as a town hall today to discuss the future of the company. So there might be something to look into there.
I mean, I'm still getting emails from them offering me 25% off or 20% off. So seems like they're not too bad.
I could use a new bed sheets. Why don't you send me that email?
Apparently, oh, go ahead.
They just need to get Johnny Depp to go, when Amber Heard crapped on my bed and I had to get new bed sheets. The first place I went to was Bed Bath & Beyond.
Just to circle back to
that is the greatest sales tactic ever.
Yeah, so if you're listening, BBY PR team, you need to send Latter Day a check ASAP, because that's not free marketing advice.
Okay,
in
so
the last GameStop earnings, they described not exactly how much crypto, but they gave an idea of how much crypto they've earned and are holding. And it was added to their war chest of 1.3 billion, and it was somewhere in the range of 250 million in digital assets and other assets. So it's not 250 million in pure crypto. I do believe some of that is the actual NFTs that they're holding on their marketplace. But there isn't. We do have an idea of how much they've made.
So quick Google search, so don't kill me if these numbers aren't perfect, but I'm seeing Bed Bath & Beyond last quarter had 82% debt to asset ratio. So feel free to play that.
Bruce plays in the chat. Good morning, Monday team. What's going on, fellas?
Grand Rising, brother.
Going
I
on?
hope
What's going on?
somebody jumped in BIOR with me yesterday because that motherfucker killed it.
Oh, very nice.
Hey, man. To stay fly. Are you in BBBY play?
Nah, man, I got burned so much in AMC. I'm sick with all that shit. So at this point, I'm just playing these volatile plays. I run my scanner and I just I'm all over the place. But shit, I turned 170% profit off BIOR yesterday, period. So I'm winning on that.
Any plays today, man? You usually have
Yeah, I
awesome
mean, I
plays.
threw a couple in the chat early before I got to talking. I'll give them to you verbally. Give me a second. Of course, I'm gonna stay in BIOR. I got a feeling she might run up real nice today. It's got a lot of momentum. I'm looking at LIPO.
Yep.
I'm also looking at IMGO. I'm looking at EAR. And I'm looking at LABP. I'm going to continue to play COSM. I got stuck in, give me a second. Let me pull up my actual portfolio on E-Trade. I got stuck in Kraken. It's CRKN, but it's got a nice little bit of volume. I double dipped down and didn't get out in time. So CRKN, I'm still in. And then RSLS, I'm also still in. They should run back up to where I can exit. My strategy typically is I'll pick my dollar amount. Say I got 5,000 to play with, I'll throw it in, and every time it dips, I'll buy the dip. That way, my exit price will be my exact entry price. So say I enter something at $2 and it runs down to 80 cents, I'll buy lots and then I'll set my sell at the entry price because typically we will be able to exit that entry price throughout the trading day. So appreciate the
Smart
time,
man.
fellas.
Smart man. Thank you, by the way, because like I said, you always have at least one or two that hit that day. So I'll keep an eye out on those.
You're welcome, brother. And those crypto plays I threw out there, they paid well too. I mean, I think I ran up yesterday a couple dollars as well on those crypto associated tickers. So
I
good
like
luck
that.
today,
I like
fellas.
that LAB P there. It's got a good book value on it and it's lower outstanding on it. It's nice.
Yes, sir. It looks well. Again, I'll keep running this scan until you guys get off of here and I'll let you know what else I see. So
You're a good man.
appreciate it, brothers.
Peace.
So the FAA has grounded flights all across the US due to a computer glitch. So that's going to have some impacts today, at least on people's lives.
Yeah, it's till 9:30 a.m.
I think it will have a marginal effect on it. I've read the article. Apparently, it was their notification of air mission notification. And so they said that they were in the final stages of rebooting it and that they should be able to bring flights back around 9 a.m., so about 15 minutes from now. So, I mean, you'll definitely have a lot of delays that they've had for the last about 2.5 hours or so. But other than that, I think it won't be too bad.
Did they say why it went down?
Yeah, there's speculation that they said on the a tweet that basically the integrity is going to be investigated. So it is 9:30 right now, but no one can clear until the integrity of the system has been cleared. And so you can kind of speculate of why they're looking at the integrity of the software, because the original PR release was that there was a software upgrade issue.
Actually, good morning. I was actually coming in here to say that I was going to sell my Delta Airline calls immediately at open, because there was a Delta Airlines craft that their engine set on fire while it was on the tarmac last night. I've seen this before in the market when there's some kind of like mechanical error with a plane. It's never good for the stock. People are super emotional, especially for some reason. Airplane mechanical failures are like they just resonate really heavily with investors. So As soon as that market opens, man, I'm selling these things ASAP. Probably even switch to puts.
Anyone playing Netflix puts today?
Nope.
Are you playing Netflix puts today?
I
Yeah, are
am.
you?
Yep. Off the back of the Goldman downgrade, so I'm going to give it a shot today. Why not?
Because Goldman's always right.
Well,
Hey guys,
it'll put a bit of fear out there. Enough for me to make a few bucks. I only need a few buck move, and that'll be me happy out for the day.
Hey Ogre, can you say Bravo 6 going dark?
Bravo 6 going dark, mate.
Thank you.
You like the Scottish accent, eh?
hey guys, I just seen something about AVCT just filed a Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I don't know. Keep an eye on it. See what it do. AVCT.
AVCT, roger that.
What are we supposed to watch for? Filed
I
bankruptcy.
mean, momentum, movement. You know, things happen throughout the day. I can't predict the future.
Sounds like
I
it's
can
gonna
tell you
go
what I see.
down.
It could go down. It could go up. It could go sideways. Right. See what you can find for an entry
I
point.
don't think it's Bed Bath and Beyond where it's gonna inexplicably go up with bad news.
Did
There
you
you
say
go.
ACVT?
It was AVCT.
Oh, because the company I'm looking at says it's already been halted.
That's crazy because I have it on my list from last week.
There you go. See, we all think alike
That's
some way,
yeah,
way
that's
or form.
wild, dude.
Yeah,
Don't
she's really
forget-
did a move from 88. So
Don't forget Revlon did a complete rocket off the back of bankruptcy, so it doesn't
That is
always go the
true.
way you think.
a lot of companies have done that. Like even Air Canada. I mean, twice almost.
For me, I just like to watch it, and I find a sweet spot in between the bids and the asks where there's money to be made, and I just decide how much I want to lose, throw it on it, and I fucking roll the dice.
Yeah, and you seen what happened to Core Scientific when they posted bankruptcy the other week. I made a $7,000 that day, just buying shares because, and you know, I exited early. I could have made like $30,000 off that trade just over the 2 days. But now I don't even think they're listed anymore. I can't see it. It was Cores, CORZ. I think are they gone now? What happened? Any ideas?
I don't know. Do you think that's people exiting their short position because they realize it can't go down any more than it already is? And so those shares are being bought back by them. That doesn't make any
No,
sense to me.
they write it down to zero if they have a short position.
But if it's going to be delisted,
I can't find the ticket anymore. So
Then they don't owe the shares back if it's delisted, right? They get it free.
interesting. That just doesn't make any sense to me. Why that's happening?
Hey guys, how much do you think that Tesla shorts covering their positions are playing a part in Tesla's recent bounce? And my other question is, Reptile, what kind of mic do you have? Because your voice sounds crisp.
Reptile, you want to go first? Your crispy voice.
I'm just using the smooth stylings of a regular Apple headphones. Nothing special. Just I sound this way because I'm a sexy little reptile.
True.
Wired headset or earbuds?
Just wired headset. There's nothing special going on to the setup. I don't have like the VIP Reddit mic that some people earned.
Don't forget the hoodies.
I like that little nudge there, Rad. Good job. But what about the AirPods 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
I think more important than AirPods, and maybe
He
Apple
said they were
itself.
wired headphones from 1990.
What about that CPI report tomorrow? I think it's exciting.
Yes.
Hey, getting back to Tesla, I like Tesla. It's got support at $114.39, $114.39. So I've got the January calls at 115.
Oh, a little bird told me that someone asked about Tardstrology in the chat a while back when I was like in the room but not present, essentially. Was that true? Because if so, I got a present for you. I got daily Tardstrology back. Tardstrology is back. We got a bearish trajectory heading for a moon. So if you got puts, they're going to print today. That's what Tardstrology says. I hope you appreciated your little daily Tardstrology segment.
Even
Check out
with
Party City, PRTY. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it moves in correlation with BBBY. It's got some options expired. PRTY.
it's one of those perennial pump and dumps that other subs try and push.
Right.
So not sure on the long term holding on that, but maybe good for a quick in and out.
Only thing long term I'm holding is my wife and kids.
Good. Love to hear that.
At least the kids.
They're my future, baby.
So banks' earnings are coming up. What do you guys think about that?
Should be good.
I mean, they have to be making money, right? They're not giving any.
Yeah,
I mean, interest rates have gone up, so they're making more money on any mortgage they've ever done, and they're still not paying out jack diddly squat.
Yeah, so obviously your high savings interest rate account, greatly exceeds what they're making in terms of interest giving out loans. So that's one thing. Second thing is, for the bearish cases, mortgages obviously aren't being handed out like candy canes anymore, just because of how high the rates are. People aren't really applying for new mortgages. So I mean, people that were stuck on variable rates, especially in Canada, are obviously going to get kind of screwed when they have to get renewed in the next 16 to 24 months. But yeah, I'm predicting a good amount of revenue. I'm not going to say anything crazy, but it's going to be, I think, a solid performance for the banks. But I think their forward guidance was kind of going to scare everybody off because of what they think is going to be the looming recession, which we're already kind of in, but it's just going to get worse and worse as time goes on.
Well,
I agree with that. There's
just-
rumors of.
Sorry, go ahead. There's rumors for.
Well, there's rumors that politicians are selling off their bank stocks, and now that these rates are so high, they're going to have a massive slowdown in people taking out loans because they're just too fucking high. And this is tied in later. We could probably come back. Real estate slowdown speculation.
Yeah, well, I think that just goes hand in hand with CPI that's coming out tomorrow at 8:30. Consensus is at 6.5%, forecast 6.7%, which are both lower than like last month's, which was 7.1%. So, and that's for overall inflation. Core inflation is around 6%. So, question is, how much do you believe that? Are you guys bullish or bearish on CPI? I mean, you can even maybe tell from things you purchase in your everyday life.
CPI
eggs to
stands for
destroy my
call.
budgets.
CPI stands for calls print to infinity.
Nice. I just want to give my 2 cents on it. I think that if you expect high salaries, you're going to have to expect high product costs. I've been saying this over and over. Nestle is a great example of them testing out their product SKUs that don't work, taking them off the shelves, and then also increasing their prices, passing the cost on the consumer. We're still buying their stuff. I think at the end of the day, if we're willing to ask for higher salaries, we're going to have to expect to pay that higher price. And but yeah, it's all speculative at this moment. I think we're not going to hurt. We're still going to buy stuff. We still need to eat and survive, and we're still greedy at the end of the day. We still want our products.
So I have a question for the chat. Give a thumbs up or an arrow up if you had a raise in the last 6 months, just out of curiosity. So by the lack of blue down arrows tells me that we're the consumer is getting pinched still, obviously. So no matter what CPI prints at, it's going to really choke the market, in my opinion, in the long term. But if today or tomorrow's prints anything else, then I don't know. Calls print to infinity. I don't know. Flip a coin on that one, boys.
So most of that peaked back in like April, May in terms of like the industrials. So like polypropylene, linear low density polyethylene, high density, any of those like consumer type poly products that skyrocketed because of imports from China. Once that started, I just think you're seeing a lag, just like they were calling it. It's nothing's going to happen, and then 6 months later, I think you're seeing that same effect. Most of those products have come down. You're just seeing a very slow, gradual decrease. So for like in my business, we've had price decreases on tape. We've had price decreases on polyester. We've had price decreases on corrugated. So you've got all of these commodities that were going through the roof because of whatever, pick your reasons, have now come down. You should continue to see things. Now that's obviously not, that's one particular market. Other people know the rental market. Other people know the car markets, all of that, which factors in. Everything is still going down. I don't think there's any way in God's great earth you get a print higher than what it should be.
Well, I agree. I think
I disagree.
If you look at products you've purchased, I did this yesterday. I was reordering something on Amazon. It was like batteries, and it went up like 50% from a year and a half ago. So I think you'd be very surprised if you looked at products that you purchased in 2022 and you go back and say, I want to rebuy it. Look at the price.
So there's probably a couple things. I can't speak to that, but what I can tell you is any of those products, what you're going to have is really weird pricing discrepancies because people are sitting on inventory that they paid a significant amount for, because prices have fallen off so bad. And this is kind of what Kathy Wood was talking about. If you get deflation, when you have these giant price increases and then you have quick price decreases, you have this discrepancy in inventory held. And what it does is it throws off your book value. Well, it just throws off a lot of financial things when you have a product that you own at $5 and now you can buy it at $4. We ran into this with nitrile gloves. We ran into this with masks. We ran into it with just about everything we've bought because of this. It's just a very I don't know what the word is. It's just very awkward.
Tumultuous.
There you go. But prices are going down. How long that takes to show itself again might be.
Not all prices. Not all prices. So the ironic thing is that food and gas are not included in the core CPI. The core CPI is mostly products that are discretionary. Like you don't need to buy that toy, you don't need to buy those new drapes, but you do need food to feed your family, and you do need gas to get you to work. And those prices have not come. Those prices are still high. And so like the numbers right now are kind of lying as far as the economy goes, because as far as I can tell, people are still struggling.
And on the food side, so when you look at CPGs and the structure of pricing, Q4 is when these annual contracts for like Nestle or General Mills or something like that are negotiated and are agreed to on a 1-year basis. And in Q4, you start to see price hikes, but there's a substantial lag on that piece as it moves forward into Q1. So you should see continued price increases on your processed bulk foods and stuff that you're used to seeing in freezers. And on the commodity side, rice, corn, wheat, beans, everything's still at an elevated level compared to a year ago today. And those contracts that were lined up a year ago that have been built into the prices that you've seen on the shelf on a move forward basis are going to go up. When you look at the price of meat, that I think was artificially low. And the reason why was the cost to feed and grow a calf or a hog was above that which you could sell. So you had a large culling of herds. You had an influx of meat that hit the store shelves. Meat's come off a bit. Those feed prices haven't come off. Those are the price of meat is essentially going to have to rationalize back up. So
I'm curious, where do you get that data?
I work directly in the industry.
Well, because corn is down, wheat is down. All of the commodities that went up during that period of high inflation have trended back down. All that I know of. Do you know?
Yeah, but they still haven't flowed through. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree. So, but it's just that lag.
It's still elevated.
So the big thing historically, is eggs. Back in like the Poland economic crisis, they were looking at the price of eggs to judge their inflation, and eggs are
That's a
Yeah,
poor
they've
example
got a
because that's disease driven when you're looking at $8 a carton eggs. Like that's a poor example. Like eggs
well,
are
no,
artificially inflated.
Japan's got a 10 million cull that they just had on a lot of their chickens.
Yes,
So-
but that's not inflationary. That's not due to like feed prices on eggs. That's related to like diseases within those herds that required a culling. It wasn't unprofitable to produce eggs.
Fair enough.
But all I'm saying is all of those things that skyrocketed most of them have come back down. Wood, natural gas, oil. Well, I should say oil, but wheat, corn. Everybody that this fear mongering that we're going, oh God, we're going to have the worst, food recession of all time. Europeans aren't going to be able to heat their homes this winter. All this other stuff. There's lots of things that go into it, but the raw materials, the raw supply is going down, and that will have an effect on prices at some point.
But the raw materials you're referring to are tied to the construction industry. Is that what industry you represent?
No, it's just they flow into everything. They flow into food. They flow into consumer products. They flow into the construction. They're everything.
Yeah, I think we're going to see obviously a recession this year. We're going to see a housing market correction, and therefore you're going to see a lot of the stuff that's spiked in construction, building materials, wood, whatever you're going to see that obviously come way down because of the fact that we're not going to have as much.
It's already down.
Yeah, but that's because
Wood is at the lowest
the housing market.
Historically.
Lumber is re-rationalized back to pre-pandemic levels.
Yep.
Yeah, this is actually something that I'm trying to work out right now. So you basically have a lot of houses that were built a couple months ago when wood was absolutely skyrocketing, which adds on to the cost of the house. So now you're trying to sell a house with high cost in a market that's about to be saturated with a bunch of sellers.
Yeah, so a lot of what I saw, I'm in North Carolina. I'm shopping for a home and I'm waiting for this correction to complete. But what we're seeing here is a lot of builders actually stopped or slowed down because they knew what was going on, and the cost for that, I think probably for the reason you just nailed.
Yeah, some tickers I'm looking at is DRV, NAIL, NAIL. That's a real estate ETF, and then TMHC, Taylor Morrison Homes. I'm looking into these. I don't know when, but eventually these things should just have the ass fall out of them.
The other ticker you should look at there is LEN. It's Lennar. It's a publicly traded large scale home builder.
Oh yeah,
in most
love LEN.
metropolitan areas. My play on that, and I've been in contact with the realtor here. I'm in the Minnesota market, and essentially these builders are providing substantial discounts, talking $35,000 dollar discounts below ask in the $350 to $550 range, call it. They need to liquidate these homes. The interesting piece that I'm trying to put together as I look at this market, Realtor.com puts together a huge data set. If you wanted to take a peek at it, look at prices of homes, inventory builds, price decreases, increases, etc. But that my understanding is that does not include new construction. That's not reported through Realtor.com or any of their data sets. And that the current months of inventory is roughly 3 at the end of November. 5 is a balanced market. Anything above 5 becomes bearish for price. So today we should see price increases on homes, but we aren't. So what that should tell you is that new construction is really leading the charge forward on these price decreases, and their inventories must have built up to unsustainable levels. So the play would be puts on this entire segment.
Sorry for everyone who just got muted. I was trying to reset the noise. Not sure what the background stuff was. Carry on.
So what's a good ETF for the housing play?
DRV, NAIL.
Thank you. Just a friendly reminder, if you're not joined, wow, what worse, what horrible English there. Let me start that over. Hey, are you bored? Come over to the WSB Discord. You can find the link below in the chat, in the comment section, excuse me. And you come chat with us, play the casino, do lots of things. WSB Discord.
If you're not joined Discord, please do.
My prediction for today, by the way, is that the market pulls back and deleverages in anticipation of the CPI report. And then when the CPI report comes out, big uppies. And I'm basing this off of it happening every fucking time.
That is a great analysis.
And another play I wanted to get into before pre-market, but I'm kind of hoping that we have some fun with it, is WWE. Ticker is WWE. It's World Wrestling Entertainment. There's rumors going around that Vince McMahon has sold off the company to the Saudis. So I could not find a price that he sold it at, but they want to take it private. So I am going to be buying a shitload of shares because I am of the belief that Vince McMahon is a harsh businessman and that Saudis have more money than they know what to do with and that they overpaid way above whatever the stock price is trading at. And when they finally go private, all the shareholders get paid out in whatever price they agreed upon. So it is freaking shares all day. Every day, WWE, Vince McMahon laying the smackdown out of the Saudis' bank account and into mine.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I got a few options. So does another person here, and yeah, we've got the 100 calls. But if this thing really, takes off with this quote unquote rumor, because I've been on this since like about 10 o'clock last night.
Good shit, Rockstar.
That and I love this stock. I mean, I've watched this thing since $6. Okay, back in 2011, 2012.
To the point.
My point is it's a good pick, but be careful because it's a little sketchy on this Saudi thing. I think like this could be a rumor to get it pumped up, or it could be a rumor from inside. Somebody's doing a little bit of inside. You get me? Like somebody, because there are some weird options bought at 85s, like a lot. But
that for this week?
Yes.
Yeah,
well,
remember
for
this
next week. For next week, should I say? Because it's only monthlies on them, anyways, on the options.
All right. Thank you
This
for
thing
that. We appreciate that.
is already up like 31 or 32% in the past week. So, sorry?
Yeah, but if the Saudis are going to come in and then because they'll just pay $10 billion for it, right? And it's not even close to that market cap yet.
Yeah, they don't even give a shit. They just want to own some kind of media outlet, which is just like for the dumb public.
Yeah,
they're going to roll up in their
Stephanie
gold Hummers
yesterday too.
They're going to land with their solid gold jets, their gold Hummers. They're going to pay whatever the fuck Vince McMahon wanted for it, which I'm so confident that it's way outside of any kind of normal, sane asking price. So I'm going to buy some shares. When it comes out with the prices, you can deduce whether or not whether or not it's above the asking price that they're going to pay out when it finally does go private, so you can sell it then. But I'm doing it. I'm putting my my wallet where my mouth is here.
Your money where your mouth is.
Because this is the same Saudi group that has started Live Golf and this and that, and they have a track record of using financial power to get what they want done, and they really don't mince over billions, and it's highly likely. You just look at how much money they threw at Live Golf, and the success they've had there already early on. I can see a scenario where Vince just fleeced them.
They must have given him such a price that he'd sell off his baby, which is WWE. I mean, he's worked there for his entire career. I know, like, even behind, like, his character is a shrewd businessman, but Vince McMahon is actually a terrific businessman, even behind the scenes.
Well, they canned
So,
everybody too. They canned everybody, and they stuck Khan in as CEO, and then he's on the board, and he basically came in and just cleaned house and put Barrios back on, and the girl from ESPN, or the one that did the MLB network, I believe. So,
but Vince did broker the deal, right? Like, Stephanie stepped down. Vince came
yes,
back
that's
in.
correct. But the Saudi deal is on rumor at the moment. It's just off of 2 people from wrestling Twitters.
I am willing to take a shot here. If you guys, if you want to wait until the rumor, that's totally fine. That's like the safe way to go. But I have made the most amount of money playing rumors and going with my gut feeling, and
I go
that's
with
where
my gut on this too, because I called the Saudis from the beginning myself.
I'm going with you on
I
this one,
believe
Scott.
the rumor. I believe the rumor. I sit on oil. I buy WWE. 10 billion is no problem.
And
Okay, thank you for
and
that.
besides, even without that, we're playing it's like a bread and circuses thing. WWE is going up anyways. It's not even a bad investment, even if you didn't hear this rumor. I'd still probably be like, hey, check out this stock. Look how well it's doing.
Yeah, so
You
just
don't
let
think
everybody
it'll go
know,
down
I don't want
30%?
to.
You don't think it'll go down 30% if this rumor is false? You think it'll just keep shooting up to 52-week highs?
They paid $500 million for a stupid fucking painting. I think they're going to pay for this as well. Saudis will buy anything.
Unless it's a rumor to pump it.
Guys, ladies and gentlemen, UFC did become a front runner for that bid. Disney's out, and there's some other people that really want to buy this too. So, you know, it's all speculation right now. So obviously, be careful. But WWE is picking up. I personally don't watch it, but if it is something that's popular among people and among new generations, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's a good play. Why not? It's better than buying that BBY stock. That's for sure.
Keep in mind,
Yeah, I
streaming
saw-
services will also have a lot of interest in WWE. There's a lot of content they can add to their services. So include like your Amazons for adding that to Prime. There's a huge catalog of content they would love to permanently add to their platforms.
Comcast.
Yeah, I saw that Disney was trying to acquire him. Classic Bob going in there trying to take over the world. It's kind of funny.
That's an interesting one this week.
So with,
Okay.
go ahead. There's
No.
like some fuzz going on right now. I'm not sure who that is.
I can still hear it.
You can still hear.
Who's on an AOL modem?
AMC's looking real nice today, boys. I'm trying to get my bag back.
Is it gone?
Nope.
Has Journalist been on here yet? I kind of wanted to hear his DD on Microsoft.
I mean, it's Microsoft. It's down 30%, and it's a great company, right?
He's probably trying to tell everybody that because they want a 49% stake in Chat GPT that they're going to take over Google or something, as if Google doesn't already have their own AI in the works.
He also said short Lululemon.
Since you have started talking, you lose like the 10 listeners.
Well, I feel like he has good info. He just needs to like speak, you know, and then give out that info.
Yeah, he won't be coming back for a while, guys. Let's just move on, please.
More people in
His picks
the.
have been pretty good. you look at them.
More people in the YouTube comments talking about Bed Bath and Beyond potentially being acquired by Cohen or ICANN. I personally don't see it, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Now
That
that
sounds like people holding on to the last bath towel.
Yeah, weapons grade copium.
Yeah.
What
Basically.
does, what does the Bed Bath and Beyond brand, that's a lot of B's, actually, like if you're a major corporation, what does Bed Bath and Beyond's brand offer to you that makes you like, oh yeah, I need to get on that? Like, when was the last time you really heard someone be like, yo, we got to get these towels from Bed Bath and Beyond. I'm not going to Target. I'm not going to Walmart. It has to be Bed Bath and Beyond.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think
Nothing.
a lot of
It's
well,
overpriced stuff in there actually too. So
Okay, so also under the same umbrella is Bye Bye Baby, right? It's all baby stuff, and I'm actually about to be a dad, so I know that I want to go and check everything out. Like when I was buying a crib, but didn't buy it online. I went and looked at it in place in store, and I went the brick and mortar route, right? So, and when it comes to babies, like you know that you can put whatever price you want on anything. Like the parents will buy it. So I think that is the value that it has as a company.
It's been known for a while that that is the most profitable section of the company.
So what's the value of Bye Bye Baby? I mean, I bought $2 puts for March at $1. I think this thing's going to go to zero. So it's just a matter of when. But what is the value? Has any analyst put a value, like a book value, on Bye Bye Baby compared to Bed Bath and Beyond, or is part of Bed Bath and
If you're
Beyond?
looking for
Wait,
analysts, you're in the
can I
wrong
clarify
place.
something real quick? You bought $2 puts for March when it was at $1? Is that what you said?
No, I paid $1.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm even. It's yeah. My average price is $1 too.
I'll give you this analogy for Bye Bye Baby and Bed Bath right now. Okay, let's use sports and contracts. Okay, you can have, let's say Patrick Mahomes' contract was up this year and he was disgruntled with Kansas City. At the end of 2 days before his contract is up, you're talking about trading for him and asking what his value is. It's fucking zero. His value is 10 first-round picks, but why are you going to pay that when you can get him for nothing more than just signing a contract in 2 days? So nobody's going to buy Bye Bye Baby right now because there's no sense in it. It's on a sinking ship. You can just wait, right? So its value
And
is
you guys are
irrelevant
still on in
because
the AMC.
it's a dumb
Talking
play to
about
buy.
BBBY.
So Scald did, this was someone else's mentioning, but Scald did remind us yesterday that there is that notion of at a certain price, someone like an Amazon might just be like, you know what, we're paying a little extra, but it doesn't matter to us in the grand scheme if it's worth like the Bye Bye Baby brand. So do keep that in mind as well.
So real quick, somebody explain to me what value AMC has, because the streaming services have taken over. I have better resolution at home than I do at the movie theater. I have better sound system, surround system than I would at the movie theater. I have better recliners. I don't have people coughing on me, right? So explain to me what value AMC has.
Nostalgia. People still like to go to the movie.
and
And
also
some movies are only being.
So, like I explained, people still want to go to a brick and mortar store to buy towels, to buy
So
baby
that's why they
stuff.
want to
That's
go to the
value.
movies, right?
Hold on, but regardless, whether or not AMC has value doesn't speak to whether or not Bed Bath & Beyond has value.
Okay,
That's
so look at the
apples
short
and
interest.
oranges.
Look at the short interest of it. Okay, and all pair it up with some value. Like I said, brick and mortar. Like you want to see the baby stuff when you buy baby stuff. You want to see the towels. You want to see the rugs that you buy. I mean, am I too old school? Do you guys feel otherwise?
No, I go to the store, I look at it, and then I go home and order it for cheaper online.
all right,
Okay.
sorry. I just want to cut in for a second. Like, apart from all the like anecdotes, I think we've heard a couple of things here that don't really like add up. Whether it's Amazon willing to spend a little bit more to buy the baby baby
Right.
brand, or like the Saudis just being, dumping a bunch of money wherever. I think you guys got to really step back and realize that these are shrewd investors. If you want to know how Amazon deals with acquisitions, go back and read the story about how they acquired diapers.com. They basically threatened them with, we'll either destroy you or you'll sell to us for like a pittance. And I can't recall what was the outcome of that, but obviously Amazon won. They're the behemoth in the room, and they will crush any competition and extract every penny. So I think you guys gotta step back and not really rely on the quote unquote generosity or idiocy of these financiers, if you will. They're not
Well,
idiots.
That's a great point. If
to
you watch Bezos in front of Congress acting like an idiot when that female Indian entrepreneur spoke and said, "You basically drove me out of business because I was doing so well on, on your marketplace, and you guys just drove me out of business." And he just looked like he looked like a deer in headlights. And she was just calling them out on the practices that they do, which is they take small entrepreneurs, wait till they're successful, and then basically just steal their business model and their products. So you're dead on, opinion.
Do you remember like a year and a half ago when the Saudis dumped the price of oil just to prove a point?
All right, so going back into what value Bed Bath and Beyond has, though, I think everybody's too hung up on calling it the towel stock, right? Let's talk more about the physical benefits of shopping in person. So you want a pillow, right? That's the bed part of Bed Bath and Beyond. You want a pillow, you need to see how soft it is. You need to see its loft. You need to get a feel for its material. You look at a kitchen gadget. That would be the Beyond. You need to see the heft and weight of the pan that you're working with, or the handle of a utensil, or whatever.
Exactly my point. Thank you.
But then you go home and buy it online on Amazon for cheaper.
I don't want to fucking wait 2 days or however long
So
it takes. I don't want to do that. I want it there and now. I got
Yeah,
my
I
hype
don't
up.
want
I
to
want to use
get
that
wished
thing
on
tonight.
Amazon.
I want to
Well,
be
in
able
this
to cook
in
tonight.
this economy, unfortunately, not everybody has that option to just go fucking get it and take it home. Just my
I
2
will
cents.
say that
So
regardless
what
if
are
you
you
want
gonna
to feel
save
it
on
in person or
Amazon?
not,
$5?
if you want to feel it in person or not, the reality is that these stores are closing, so your opportunities are gradually going lower and lower. And to be fair, as we've mentioned over and over, thanks to the Big Lots moms have mentioned that a lot of those products can be found in TJ Maxx, Big Lots, as well as Ross.
They can only be found in those liquidator retailers because they're getting them from closing stores. So that's limited opportunity.
But
That's
then you also have
overstock. We don't
IKEA.
have choice at Ross and TJ Maxx. That's overstock, and
Yep,
Bed
you
Bath
got
and
IKEA.
Beyond is not.
IKEA.
We're also failing to recognize that there's a new millennial business model where people will order a fucking like a vacuum sealed like styrofoam bed that costs like $1,000 via the mail because they heard about it on a podcast. Never
Yes,
touched the damn thing.
I have
And
one of
then
those. It's
see, there
awesome.
you go. And then
The thing
they'll
is, I buy other things for it at a store like
Can
Bed
we
Bath
not
and Beyond.
interrupt, please?
Walmart has a really good sale.
Shepard, can we not interrupt, please?
Fine.
We can. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sleepy Nate, go ahead.
So they'll do that simply to avoid having to go to the store. Also, like DoorDash and Uber Eats have been super popular because people would rather interface with an app than just like call their local pizza place and have to like form a sentence about what it is that they want. Like the buying patterns have changed significantly, and they're happy to pay 20-30% more simply to not have to deal with that. I do not understand it, but I am not surprised to hear that a retail store that involves going to a place physically and seeing and touching is not doing well.
So the counterpoint there is you brought up DoorDash and things. You can get similar to GameStop. You can get something delivered via DoorDash or Uber or whatever, straight to you from your local Bed Bath and Beyond store. Now the buying patterns have
But
changed.
why?
They didn't peg it on millennials.
Why would this?
What's
Why
happening
would
is
this happen?
that the target audience for Bed Bath and Beyond has been shrinking, which is like the upper middle class. So if they reposition their stores to focus on those more upscale areas, those upscale people are still buying at Bed Bath and Beyond.
You think
They're
19-year-olds?
still going,
Fuck yeah,
showing
let's
up
go look
to
at
attend the
towels.
kitchen demos.
19-year-olds are not driving our economy, bro. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Well, and then they
Driving the
normally do
economy,
look
but
at
they're
it
driving sectors.
when they get
And
married.
we're talking about the bullish cases for companies going bankrupt. Just reflection here.
There's value for somebody that knows what they're doing to acquire the company.
But guys, can we stick to plays now since the market's going to open?
BBBY looks like it's going to hit $3 pretty soon. It's already at
Breaking
$2.
news: the FAA has lifted its ground stop, but there are delays and cancellations piling up.
Puts on the top.
Boeing puts, DAL, Delta Airlines like sell, and then WWE buy shares.
Carvana puts $2.50 for February.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're a little patient as you get in the market today. It's going to be a little bit rocky, shaky. Might go up, might go down. We don't know. As everyone says, just be patient, but let's make some money. Continue to place.
Also, if you're holding contracts that expire tomorrow, remember core CPI is at 8:30 in the morning before the market opens. So, you might not be able to close some shit.
So what Sleepy Nate is trying to say is, if you got the balls, hold them. If not, you might want to sell today before closing.
Yep.
Hey, real quick,
By the
speaking
way,
of ball, just
Sleepy
in
Nate,
case before it all ends. Sorry, just real quick. Those guys who are risking with the WWE plays, you might be onto something because Khan was initially brought in to make a sale, which is why they were like firing everybody, which is how they got so much money from saving on contracts. And now it looks like Vince is such a petty control freak that if he can't have it because he got kicked out of all the allegations, he's coming back because of his whole, just to make this sale. It looks like he's trying to get rid of everything before the investigations are done because he still owes the company money for all that hush money that he paid out to all those women for the sexual harassment stuff. So even though it's a rumor that he sold it to the Saudis, he's definitely trying to sell it because he's already 78, 77, whatever the hell. He's ready for retirement. So if he can't hold it, he wants it gone so he can make a big bag before he's like finally completely done. All right,
Yeah,
that's it.
plus it'll go private.
Yeah, it'll go private, so all the stock owners are about to make a shit ton of money, which is why it was skyrocketing last night when the rumor started. So I heard, I wasn't here, I wasn't able to talk because I'm working, but I heard everybody making good points on my headphones. And opinion, you spoke very well for me last week, so thank you for that too. You sexy degenerate. But yeah, honestly, save money, even though it's still a risk, it's still a rumor. He's desperately trying to sell it, so he's most likely. Yeah, I would jump in.
Be
No,
patient. Market's
hold
gonna
on,
open.
hold on. He said that it started. He said it started booming yesterday. It actually started booming a few days ago, and I think that's insiders. That's insiders buying.
It started booming since last week when the rumor was that he was going to come back and he forced his way back in. But then last night it jumped again because of the whole rumor about him like actually making a deal with the Saudis without anybody, confirming anything. So this is all based on a rumor right now. But being on how he thinks and his mindset, like a year ago, nobody would have thought Vince is gonna die, still controlling the WWE. But then, he got forced out. And now, with everything going so well without him, he's just a petty bitch and he wants a big bag before he leaves. That's all it is. So he's definitely trying to sell it. I was hoping it would be somewhere in the US, but he's gonna get wherever, like somebody said earlier. He's a shrewd businessman. Whoever gives him the biggest bag, that's where he's going.
Markets are green. Sorry.
Ooh, Bulls are looking real good.
my BBBY calls are printing.
What the fuck market are you guys looking at? Like,
Are you seeing something different, or what's on your watch list?
well, so like we closed yesterday at 390, opened at 392, right? So like thank you futures market and pre-market, but in the opening minute, we haven't moved much but half a point, right? Like this is a contest.
I mean, it's green. Let's see. GameStop's up 2.5%. Google's up 1.5%.
Look, listen, Sleepy Nate.
Yeah.
It's been a rough 2022. We'll
Okay.
take what we can get. Please.
Sure.
Just any green.
All right. Well,
Keep an eye on BIOR. That thing is going to rock today, I think.
In contrast, 931 yesterday was more than a tenth of a percent candle, followed by another tenth of a percent candle at 932. So seeing this like really wide, like big wicks. This is an indecisive market. So up in the first minute, less than a tenth of a percent, and then back down less than a tenth of a percent. This market doesn't know where it wants to go.
No, you're right.
So,
And I think it's largely just positioning for the CPI announcement tomorrow. I think that's very much going to be the big
almost
move.
certainly. I totally agree there.
So I'll just play devil's advocate for Bed Bath & Beyond. I know it's ripping right now, but I'm trying to think when do people go there, or when did I go there a lot? It's when you get your first place, which people aren't doing now, or they're getting when they get divorced and the wife or husband takes everything. But again, people aren't like spending like ungodly amounts, or when they're getting married. So no one's getting registered either. So it is a dying business. And to the point of whether Amazon's going to pick them up, which I agree with opinion. There's always a small percentage of someone coming in and swooping up a company, especially right now when everything is so down and beaten. So keep dreaming. Maybe the Saudis will buy them.
All right. So what's going to happen is the Saudis are going to pay Vince McMahon to be the new CEO of Bed Bath & Beyond. That's what I'm hearing.
And then he'll book it for a Hell in a Cell match, and he'll use the steel from Bed Bath & Beyond to make a new Hell in a Cell.
See, there you go.
Oh my God! Watch out! Watch out! With the steel chair.
You can get for $9.99.
Buck, it's really
Thanks, don't
fucking
beat me
around. It's
to it.
just playing around with this 92 to 92.50.
I
Wasn't the
would love to
52
come out.
week high on that only like 93.63?
If no one's speaking, I just wanted to chime in and say I would love to come after journalists with a steel chair.
Intergender matches are cool, especially under the Saudi government, but you're gonna have to wear a full biohazard suit because they don't want to see any skin.
I mean, I think we all want to go after journalists with a steel chair.
Wait, go after who?
Journalist. He's like the biggest heel in the company of WallStreetBets.
Not familiar. Sorry.
You know, that's good for you. Don't waste any brain cells. You're on the right track.
I only have 45 seconds to talk about steel chairs, but after that, I'm done. No more.
Is it because you're a busy guy? Is that your catchphrase? I'm a busy guy.
Busy guy.
Just out of
Stock did jump up to
curiosity.
93 and it just dropped down to 92.11 for WWE. So yeah, it looks like it's tracking. Everybody's trying to make it back because Vince is a piece of shit.
I missed the first half of today because I was busy. So I didn't hear. Did anybody happen to see the, not to really take it off on a political thing, but just to see, if it could affect the market, that the Republicans wanted to vote on abolishing the IRS and eliminating the income
That's
tax.
going to be an entire nothing burger. It will go nowhere. Why would the Democrats vote to abolish the IRS that they just gave a bunch of guns to?
And
This is the Republicans, though.
With horrible training, by the way.
Okay,
Yes,
hold on.
but the Democrats still hold the majority in the Senate, and you have to get 60 votes in order to get something out of the Senate.
The Democrats, it'll get stopped. First of all, it's probably not going to pass the House. If it does pass the House, it'll get stopped in the Senate. If it somehow passes the Senate, it'll get vetoed by the president. It's not a real thing. It's a gesture. It's nothing. It's just wouldn't it look cool to our voter base if we put this on the ballot so we could say we tried to do it and we'll get more votes that way, but this is never going to pass type of thing. Don't worry about it.
Clickbait legislation. Sorry, didn't mean to talk over you, but That's what it is. It's clickbait.
It's the biggest fantasy ever. Like, this is for not gonna happen.
I
You
will
know, the
go as
biggest
far to
fantasy
say,
is my girlfriend.
I mean, you say that, but you do realize that Florida has no income tax, right?
I will go as far to say if it's somehow actually passed every branch of government, the House would come back and be like, we need to change that. That was not supposed to get through. Like it's not gonna be a thing.
Now, did they
But
actually?
the only positive about this is that they would revert it into a consumption tax.
Yeah, or
so
flat
it
tax.
could be extremely beneficial in that sense.
So let's
That's the only benefit.
let's bring this back.
Did,
Okay.
did
The
they?
thing that they
Well, quick
actually
question.
passed-
Just a quick question. Did they actually approve defunding the 87,000 IRS agents?
Thank you, Slut Spoiler. The actual thing that they passed was to repeal the funding for the 87,000 new IRS agents that they intend to hire. That's the thing that they actually did. Okay.
Now, is it a done deal, or does it need to go to the Senate? Has the president signed off on it?
It is the House passed it right now. So they would still need to put it through the democratically controlled Senate. And obviously that's going to be a little rougher. Whether or not the bill will need some kind of amendment, they might need to tack on building building more ferries, which apparently was a big thing last year. So yeah, it's a real simple bill where it just says we're going to not do that thing where we more than double the number of employees in the IRS. So yeah, it's going to be contested, but that's what actually happened. And then there's a whole lot of tweets going out from Republican lawmakers about all kinds of destroy all of the income tax and IRS and blah 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 blah. But the actual thing that they did was they just passed a "don't do that thing you just said you were going to do" bill.
To clarify something, are those 87,000 IRS agents or 87,000 IRS special agents? And there's a reason I'm asking.
That it does not actually. It's just money for the IRS, and they stated what they intended to do, but the law doesn't say what they have to do with it.
Okay, the only reason I'm asking is I keep hearing people say like they're giving guns to the IRS, blah, 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 which would imply special agents, which would imply law enforcement branch, not actually taxing you branch.
They're special, all right. I can tell you that.
I've seen pictures of them training with firearms.
Yeah, that's
if they're
so that's the
firearms
reason.
trainers, then they're not. That's the law enforcement side of it. That's not like the people auditing you.
Right, and so that's the reason that people have been saying, oh, they're the IRS agents with the guns, because they released a training video at the same time that they said they intend to hire new agents. But yeah, the IRS can use it to hire however they want.
Sleepy, did you see that video though? They did not look like. Well, I saw the video of them training it. They looked like accountants or people who would be sitting in a desk for a very, very long time. If you get my drift.
Yeah, as a small business owner, I'm not particularly scared of running away from that guy in the wheelchair.
Yo, but like, what's the context behind them getting trained?
Okay, so I
ahead.
hope I can answer this. Every branch of the government that you can think of has its own sub law enforcement branch, okay? So, like, the post office has postal police officers who can go and arrest people for postal crimes. The IRS has that as well. So the reason I'm talking about like special agents versus agent, a special agent specifies that these are the law enforcement branch. These are the people who, if you commit a tax crime, like when you hear like, oh, Al Capone got arrested by the IRS, it was their law enforcement branch, which is the special agents within the IRS. That wasn't just like the accounting dudes. So that's
so is it sorry, is it because of all of the COVID money that went out possibly then?
They're just expanding the law. They may or may not be expanding the law enforcement branch. I don't know why, but just understand like every government agency that you can think of has their own like policing force that actually has like arresting power across states and stuff for specified crimes.
This was a story like in the early aughts that Social Security Administration were buying bullets. This was a big thing 15, 17 years ago. So to your point, it's just a repeat clickbait thing. Sorry to overuse that phrase, but it really feels like it.
Thank you. Sorry for interrupting.
Yes, all
remember-
very informative. Puts on tax fraud. Got it. So I have a DD, journalist quality DD on Bed Bath and Beyond that I just cooked up. With stores closing, calls this fall on Spirit Halloween.
Isn't that Party City? Isn't that one of their brands? I'm actually being serious. It isn't.
I actually don't know that.
Yeah, I think Spirit Halloween is
that
owned
would
by
be why
Party
it's
City.
journalist quality DD.
Just remember, if they do hire all those special agents for the IRS and they show up to your door, just remind them that you pay their salary. Cops love that.
Why is everyone worried
Well,
about these IRS?
if they're knocking on your door, you're probably not.
Correction, Spirit Halloween is owned by Spencer Gifts, not by Party City, but same
Wait,
difference.
seriously? That's actually.
Yep.
Did I just stumble my way into a play again?
I hope not, but
Jokes can do that. I like
Yes,
that.
but no, Spencer's has been doing pretty solid. I mean, it's like the one store at the mall that survives.
Well, unfortunately, they're privately owned, so you can't make a play on them. Yeah.
Why is everyone scared of IRS agents?
Well, I'm already an agent of chaos already.
I mean, you're in a sub full of hyper capitalist people with poor monetary decisions. You tell me why.
Yeah, but we don't make any money, so we don't have to pay taxes.
I'm anti-capitalist.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around on these IRS agents, right? Like they're gonna hire that many, but like throughout what time period? Like 5 years, probably. You know how slow people are.
7,000 IRS agents. That's just clickbait that's been publicized. And it also, that figure included people retiring and replacing those, so it's not
right. And this
WWE down to 89.
clickbait.
I thought one of the big selling points
Yo,
of that whole
GME's at
IRS thing.
6% already.
Go ahead, Kier. Here.
Yeah. Now, I was going to say, I thought one of the selling points I read a long time ago about that whole IRS thing was they were going to hire all those agents to go after, all the wealthier individuals that weren't paying their fair share. And I thought to myself when I read that, that's never going to happen.
Yeah, they said that, and then the training video had them arresting a guy who owned a lawn service.
I heard they hired him also to get audit OnlyFans and Twitch streamers. That's not a joke. I'm not joking.
That's
Wait,
basically it. And
what
it
did you
goes
hear?
in line. It goes in line with that $600 Venmo thing. They're going after people they think are underreporting independent income via things that haven't been easily taxable for a long time, such as streaming on Twitch, having an OnlyFans, being a YouTuber, that kind of thing.
Back pages.
What's that?
Back pages too.
I don't know what that is, but probably
Probably crypto and NFTs as well, I'm sure.
Yep. And so
Backpage is a website that got closed down by the federal government because you could order special ladies to come to your house.
Okay, I don't know
Nice.
what you need retarded ladies for, but you
I thought that was just Uber.
Retarded ladies.
So my point is, they've been going after people who are collecting money through let's, for the sake of argument, call them micropayments, right? They're not getting a standard income. They're getting $1 and $2 increments from hundreds or thousands of places, and that's how they are making their money. And the IRS is real interested in being able to track that. So, you know, we saw the $600 transaction amount. We saw the election of a bunch of IRS agents to go dig through that, especially ones who are young, tech savvy, that kind of thing.
Aren't the platforms the one that are technically somewhat responsible for reporting that to some degree, though?
Which they've automatically done.
Yeah.
No, because all those people are considered independent contractors and therefore they're responsible for their own taxes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, but they report the information.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. I mean, Google's writing that as, hey, I paid this person, or we do not have this money anymore either.
Yeah, there's a trail.
Well, yeah, there's also a difference though between the platform, what somebody may pay to buy like bits on Twitch, which they can donate to the streamer, or people, donating directly to the streamer through their PayPal account.
Yeah, correctly. I do know that they don't track that. I do know that they don't take their portion out when you give I don't know, can't exactly remember what it is, but streamers will mention that.
But but everything's connected to the person receiving it.
Right.
As a trail.
So well, kind of.
I mean, ultimately, they just need to rewrite the tax code to some degree for those. I mean, that's a new market that's been created over the last, 8 years. And they're just so hell-bent on not changing things. Like, they just need to rewrite that for a few specific job types that make it easy for them to track it. Like, I don't think most of those people are probably doing it maliciously. So it's like they just don't, like, who the fuck knows? Like, it's ridiculously hard to track that shit.
The IRS lets you report income even if it is maliciously received.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know that drug lords still do sometimes file their taxes. Also,
Yeah,
I want to let you guys know that changing the law is not an easy task.
No, it's not. But I mean, Trump, changed some of that tax stuff and made it a lot easier for most families to take general directions and different things like that.
We're gonna go ahead and repeal all the income tax as soon as we reclaim the rebellious South for our own and reunite the country. Okay.
Paying taxes is dumb. Smart people don't pay taxes.
I worked for a billionaire, and at a large money management firm, and man, he avoids taxes like it is crazy.
Yeah, it's called
we need to
unearned
tax the
income.
billionaires. Like, it's crazy.
So I hate to be that guy, but I think this has been a good discussion about some information, but maybe a little more play focused now, pushing towards if we have like tax related plays.
I wanted to hear about the billionaire parties that you didn't go to.
All the parties.
Jokes aside, how's BBBY doing? I'm very bearish on them, so I'm just curious if I'm making money or am I losing money if I would have went in.
They
I think the
are
news
up
is
22%.
Yeah, they're down.
They're
since
up
open.
almost 22% today.
Yeah, but that was all pre-market. They're down since open slightly.
AMC is up 14%.
Overall, from market close yesterday, they are still up 21%. Now they're up over 22%.
Both is still about 6-7%.
AMC is up 14%. So to the moon. This is it.
My Chinese GDS is down 16% because they're raising debt.
How did we miss Party City is the real question.
Actual place. I'm doubling down on HYG 75 puts for March and February. So shorting junk bonds.
The open interest for GME on January 20th is insane.
Do y'all think something got liquidated? Someone got force liquidated somewhere? Because I mean, it's really weird that Bed Bath & Beyond would be popping like this, along with that pharmaceutical company that correlates with it, and AMC and all that. This is weird, y'all.
I am regretting, Shepard, that I did not hold on to those Dave stocks. that you gave some information about, saying like, hey, this might be a good play or not. I am regretting that, but nonetheless, just want to congratulate you on that.
Wait, you went bearish on the bear? How could you?
I thought I could inverse WSB members. That was what I read in the threads so many times. If I inverse everybody, I'm gonna be a millionaire. And working against me right now.
Who's the one that brought up the ticker DRTT? Somebody mentioned that a while back, but it's up 7% today.
Is that one of those penny stocks our boy likes to bring up to see
No,
what dumps?
no. Somebody else brought that up. It wasn't that dude.
As a further update, I'm really praying that I'm right about Walmart, if only so that I can avoid having to do my best Kramer impersonation for a week. I can't get the crust in his voice correct.
You have to wait until about February before it's going to go down.
Yeah, but I said January.
That was your mistake, that you're going to go bearish on them when they still have to report their best quarter.
You
I'm
really
praying
think
that
Walmart's going down?
They'll release some kind of forward guidance, and that'll cause the market to overreact or something. I don't know.
I love all these extras today.
So I've noticed since I've worked for Walmart, generally around January into February is when you're going to see Walmart stock price the highest. Then it starts sliding down. You can get around 110 or so, usually around September. And then after that, it starts going back up again because people start getting bullish on it. And then it shoots up for the fourth quarter, and then it just repeats.
I also used to work for them, and I can just tell you right now, that place prints money. I don't see them falling.
I'm a vendor, and I see a lot of things behind the scenes, and they are a train wreck right now. It is
Big
not
red
the same.
candle
It is
on
not the
fire.
same company operationally that it used to be.
So the real question is it going to be Target, Walmart, or someone else like Kohl's and Best Buy or BBBY?
Yes.
Yeah,
Or
watch it be Bed
Yeah,
Bath
definitely
Beyond coming up with a chair. Walmart's
I
been
really,
doing a face heel turn for a while.
I really don't see the value in BBBY brand name.
Have you guys even stepped foot in a BBBY store?
Yeah,
I
several
have.
times, and I've gone to a Bye Bye Baby recently, and I will vouch that Bye Bye Baby is a place that I hear people bring up, and like it is. Even if I'm not going to buy from there, it's definitely worth walking through.
I literally walked through Bed Bath and Beyond, and they had a sign saying it's on sale. Things are on sale. I walk in, everything's still like thousands of dollars for just like a bar soap. Like, what? Who's still shopping there? Seriously.
And their Ninja blenders are from like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
So
not only
Oh
are they
my
from 2
God.
years ago, you go to
Really?
Costco and you can get it for half the price, and you get a full lifetime return policy. Like, why are people going to Bed Bath and Beyond overpaying, and how are they still in business? I'm just mind blown.
Honestly, if I walked into a fucking Bed Bath & Beyond, they'd be calling security to watch me on the cameras. Like,
Yeah, I see a
I
whole
live
bunch
in
of
the
old people walking around there. Like, okay,
I live in
And
the
I'm
hood.
the
We
one,
have
I'm the one
we
that
have
has the
I was
heels
gonna
and
say my mom loves to go to Bed Bath and Beyond. It's 3
yeah,
years
exactly.
ago.
Old people just rolling around in the carts, basically empty carts. They grab like one item. It's already $300 for that.
Bro,
I
it's a
don't go
good
in there.
store. Garbage. It's a fucking good store. I got married 10 years ago, and we got so much shit when they make it so easy to do your registry there.
They might have been good 10 years ago. They're certainly not good now.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I mean, registry is cool because
That
you're not
said
paying
exactly
for
what I
it,
was thinking.
What have you done for me lately?
right? Like,
Amazon does a registry too. And like, real question: how close are we to the metaverse allowing you to do a walkthrough to a fucking store that is no longer there?
You're not.
fuck
You're
the
careful.
metaverse.
Careful if you say meta 2 more times, Simple's going to
sorry.
show up.
We're gonna need better
So the-
haptic feedback. So
I
you
got
can
the-
hope the
maybe
meta
look at
introduces
things and-
Kmart because I would
The
love
forward
to live my childhood.
I would rather shop at Kmart.
the forward guidance on BBBY was hilarious. They said we're gonna realign our business practices to more closely match our customers' expectations, which is like the most hilarious thing I've ever heard. Because what's the opposite? Like, is there any retailer out there that's trying to align their business practices to not go with their customer expectations? Number one,
You're gonna
and
sell
number two,
Pampers.
yeah, and number two, why didn't you do this like 2 years ago? Like, why didn't you align your business practices to meet your customers' expectations 2 years ago so that you can stay in business?
And
But they're like a train wreck grabbing at straws, really.
And how did they align? The way that they would align to customers' needs is just by slashing everything 80%.
No, cheapest.
Disney's
AMC
been
is up
making
14%.
stuff.
This is pure manipulation to squeeze the last bit of money out of retail investors. It's hilarious.
So Target failed in Canada. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. Target came up here, opened a bunch of stores, failed, lost a bunch of money. So they're going to try Zellers now. They're going to revive Zellers brand in Canada instead. That's their play. I don't know if you guys have heard anything about it, but the hype pieces have already started. There's a little bit of traction on the ground, but I think it's going to be a flop festival.
Speaking of flop festivals, how about fucking Albertsons? They beat earnings and literally nothing is happening.
Owned by Walmart.
Thought they were doing a merger with Kroger.
Yeah, that's correct.
One input I have to say about Albertsons and stores like that is that the amount of security they've had to start hiring is insane. They must have been bleeding money through COVID to now.
Oh yeah, I just saw something that's like $9.4 billion in losses from Walmart, and they're threatening shutting down stores if it continues. We had a big
Yeah, no,
discussion about this.
that is all the CEO trying to make excuses for something that he's going to try to pull because of bad performance or maybe union busting or whatever. Because if you
But
look,
there are
like,
no unions in Walmart.
their
Fred Meyer
overall shrink is like less than 3% of their losses. I mean, it's nothing. It is nothing.
I know,
The
and
CEO
GameStop
is
here's
the
the,
up
problem.
I know, but hold on.
8%.
But Shepard, is like the thing is they've already got the solution in place for this. So they built these Walmarts like they're fucking fortresses. Targets like they're fortresses. Even McDonald's now are being built with these like double cinder block, rebar reinforced, bulletproof glass. Like they're just, you cannot break into these things. So they've got the solution in place. Now they just need to create and drum up a problem, which is going to be shoplifting, so that they can come in with the solution of you shopping online, coming to the parking lot, and then them delivering your groceries to you in your at your car or something. So they don't want people going into these stores anymore, or they don't, or at least they want to be able to have some kind of crowd control.
Yeah, if you're
So they're
too
gonna-
poor to do that, you have to walk through like double entrances to get to certain sections.
They've already, you got this thing in China where it scans your face, then the like refrigerator door can open. You grab a block of cheese, and then it charges you before you get to the checkout. Like they're trying to cut down on shoplifting hard.
You can
It's
absolutely
not that
erase
much
it.
of a problem.
100%. Like,
Shoplifting, I compare to the war on drugs. It's just never ending. It's just going to be part of the model.
Like, yeah, sometimes they get hit for big ticket items, but
Guys,
they
I
catch
think
those people. Like
GME's gonna hit $20 today.
the shoplifters are these like teeny boppers on Tumblr or TikTok or whatever with their kleptomania, stealing lipstick and feeling like they're just super bad for doing so. It's not
You've
as
never
big as
seen
the
a
problem.
shoplifter at Walmart.
No,
No.
Yeah.
Entire trailers of merchandise are going missing on the highways.
Yeah, and that's not from shoplifting. That's from inside job.
And the new trend
Random
seems to be
about
flash mob
drug cartel.
shoplifting.
Really good book called The Hidden Wars. A very cool book. Just throw that out there.
Oregon and California have pretty much made it legal for people to go into stores and take as much as they can fucking hold.
Can you say
under
that the name of
$1,000.
that book again? Sorry.
That's been overblown too.
Hidden Wars.
Hidden War. Yeah, I don't think there's an S on the end. That's my bad. It's about the drug cartel in California. Very cool.
I
But
don't
yes,
think
I'm
GME
trying
is going to
very
go above.
hard not to identify myself and the position that I work at, but just yeah, and you know,
Cashier.
there's an amount of trust me, bro here, but the amount of stuff that I see is a company struggling against itself to not be dysfunctional. And the thing is COVID actually sort of masked the dysfunctionality that Walmart has gotten sort of, oh, what's the word? When you catch something. Walmart
Infected
has got, what?
Infected?
No, it's one of the other ones. But anyway, Walmart has caught itself a lot of dysfunctionality. I suspect with the CEO spouting stupid BS that nobody is falling for. I mean, none of the news, like the worst bottom of the barrel news website, none of these people are even falling for that. With a CEO like that, I'm pretty sure, I thought it was like people who had warmed their way up into the company over the course of a few years, right? Like corporate degeneracy happens on a cycle. But no, it's the CEO. He's a moron. They've just got too many
What I'm
problems.
getting from this, Shepherdess, you really hate Walmart, don't you?
I don't hate Walmart, actually. I'm upset because I actually care, because I see a lot
She
of good
loves the
things in
people.
the company.
Oh, got you.
I see a lot of good things in the company that are trying to be wholesome like they used to be. And I see other elements in the company working against that. It's this giant bureaucracy that is in the midst of being pivoting one way or the other. My thesis is it's going to catch up. Things are going to catch up with them. Stock price is going to tank. The house is going to get cleaned. Stock price is going to tank some more because the market overreacts, which will then be the time to buy big because then Walmart will recover. It has the
A lot
resources.
of people hate Walmart. A lot of
Hey,
people
by the
hate
way,
Walmart.
by the way, quick jumping in here. Boeing is up, and so is Delta. So looks like that plane blowing up was nothing burger.
Go
Right on.
Delta.
What plane blew
Their
up?
earnings is tomorrow morning too, slut. So
GameStop now up 9%.
Yes, and I'm super bullish on Delta's earnings. I think that they have.
Same here,
I think
Mr.
they're gonna
Slut.
have some good outlook. Future growth is looking great. They got it all lined up. Now they just gotta. They got all the ducks in the row. Now they just gotta shoot them down. Here we
Yo,
go.
slut. Speaking of shooting down, what happened to that plane?
I think somebody's puts weren't printing, so they threw a wrench in engine on a Delta airline.
Oh, holy shit! Really?
Someone who didn't listen to me and got puts. I said that the first week of January was going to be super bullish for Delta because their CEO was a keynote speaker over at CES. They talked about how they've redone their Wi-Fi so that it has bigger bandwidth, so they can have streaming services like Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus and all the other stuff. And they've also rewritten their pilot contracts so that they can start poaching other pilots and taking in all the new pilots that are made. They can start hiring them for better pay, and they're setting the path for these pilot they're setting the template for good pilot contracts, which was their choke point. They had a lot of planes, they just didn't have enough pilots. So their growth is going to look really good. I think that's going to be pretty bullish. And also, just in general, airline stocks have been beaten down to a pulp. I think they're up like something crazy, like 15% or something this week. I'll take a look. But
Guys,
it's like
I think GME is gonna hit $20 today.
Do you want to
It
see
looks
something
like-
crazy? AMC is up 15%.
I just want to say for the Delta play, pretty much that their customer service is pretty top notch as well. Like I work for an airport that I would not mention the name of, but pretty much like Delta Airlines customer service, like definitely is like light years ahead of American and Southwest. There maybe I can't like rank against Southwest, but it's definitely compared to like to American and JetBlue and everything else out there. Delta
Spirit.
is the best.
You fly Spirit, you're gonna end up being a Spirit.
It's funny. I will
Definitely
not
broke
book,
spirit,
I
I'll
will
tell you
not book
that.
a flight if it's in domestic United States if it's not Delta or United.
Exactly.
has
You know,
all flights in the United States grounded today.
You know, I fly a lot, and domestically,
Who does?
I would say
FAA grounded
Delta
all
will
flights
be.
today.
Yes,
Yep,
we
they
know. That's
ended
what we're
that.
talking about.
I would say Delta.
We were talking
will be
about, so
number
yeah,
one.
that got brought up, but we were also talking about how there was a malfunction on a certain Delta airline plane where the engine had caught on fire while on the tarmac on just before leaving the air, leaving
Like
the ground.
Slut Spoiler said, somebody threw a wrench in the engine because they were pissed off their puts weren't printing.
Oh, okay, I got you. A quick comment on
And
Delta.
it still didn't work.
A quick comment on Delta that might be worth noting is since that Southwest meltdown, Southwest is going to be bleeding customers. And I know at least a good amount of people ended up booking flights with Delta instead when they were stuck in airports for a couple days. So they could even have an increase in their customer base here.
I personally never had any problems with Southwest, but I mean, I fly a lot. So domestically, it'll be number 1 Delta, number 2 Southwest, and then number 3 United. And then internationally, I usually fly Emirates.
I definitely like Delta and the routes. Will be flying to Portugal coming up in February. So the main thing is I wasn't able to find a lot of flights that were able to connect one stop, but Delta apparently had some flights that they're still going on over there. So maybe hopefully a lot of airlines are doing a lot of route cutting as of late. So who knows? Maybe Delta might be able to succeed more financially. Let's be able to draw in a bigger customer base with that, because it looks like they're starting to keep some of their routes compared to American that's cutting every single route almost, pretty much.
All right, well,
Alexander's
we're all
making so much money on my players.
How about Activision? That thing's gonna happen. That stock's moving.
Well, with Microsoft?
Wait, the acquisition?
Yes.
What did you say that thing is going to happen?
Oh, 100%. Microsoft runs the government, and yeah.
What about the UK though? The UK wasn't the UK trying to block it?
Are you kidding me? Do you think the UK can block a merger with one of the largest tech companies in the world? I mean,
Yes, the UK market.
Yes, you're saying exactly what I've been saying. What Microsoft wants, Microsoft gets.
Yeah, Microsoft's
Hold on,
bigger than the UK now.
The UK can block it because if they rule against Microsoft and Microsoft does the acquisition anyway, they can deny them business in the UK. And yes,
fine, then we shut down the UK government, you know?
It's a big enough market for Microsoft to care about. Don't just completely dismiss losing that entire market as meaningless to any corporation.
Wouldn't the bigger threat be the EU though, not just the UK?
Hey, Red, your baby ape is going up.
Imagine the UK switching over to Linux.
Russia's bigger than the
I
UK,
mean, come on, Microsoft
and they pulled out of
is the
Russia.
US government. Come on, you think the UK can stop that merger?
Holy shit! Imagine all these boomers in the UK, all these British ass old people trying to figure out a new operating system. Just not going to fucking happen.
Understand, it's a big enough market that Microsoft would potentially, I'm not saying it's going to get blocked, but they would consider that it's probably not worth acquiring Blizzard Activision if it loses them the entire UK market. You can't just brush that off as a meaningless market. It's not like Ghana.
What's the claim? I still don't understand why anybody gives a shit that Microsoft is buying Activision Blizzard.
And by the way, they only become the 3rd largest game manufacturer from that transaction. So there's no way it can't get blocked.
So the concern is it is a concern for competition if Microsoft doesn't allow these software titles on different platforms. There's a lot of online gaming that would belong solely to Microsoft. It's not just about the single player gaming, it's about the multiplayer gaming.
God damn, man. Like, Microsoft always does this to me. Like, they've been setting up open source. They've been setting up crossplay. They pushed crossplay. So, hands down, this is a play. They've been saying for years, like, we should all play together and stop, separating everything out. And so now they're trying to buy Activision Blizzard, and they're going into court with the case of, hey, we're open source now. We share. You don't have to worry about that.
Just come up with an acquisition that Microsoft hasn't gotten done.
Yo, Carvana is flying.
Hey, by the way, they do want to buy 49% stake in ChatGPT. This might mean that they are not interested in Activision as far as, they don't want to spend a whole bunch of money. So think about that.
This is the thing that gets me is that I'll challenge anybody in this chat to find a country that doesn't rely on Windows. The monopoly is already there. Fucking difference does it make?
I'm personally wondering what Microsoft's trying to do with all these studio acquisitions, because they acquired Bethesda and ZeniMax not that long ago. Now you're getting Activision and Blizzard. Those are big studios. Do they have some sort of plan going forward for exclusives? Or
I don't think that's even interesting. Just go read the merger agreement. It's 90. I think it's $95, $96, and it is going to go through. And that thing's at 77.
To answer Watt, hey Watt, didn't they pull out of Russia?
Yeah, and I mean that's part
Russia's
of it.
bigger
Like,
than the UK.
Russia's been using pirated there's a picture of Putin somewhere where he's making a statement at his desk, at his like presidential desk, and behind him is his desktop. That fucking desktop is Windows 98. No shit, man. The day he invaded fucking Ukraine, he had a picture taken of him with his Windows 98 operating system with the fucking blue taskbar and the green fucking start menu button.
It wasn't even XP? What?
No, bro. It was
Sounds
fucking
staged to me. Sounds staged.
No, they had to bring it in on a floppy disk.
I'm pretty sure Windows
What Microsoft is trying to do with these studios, Bethesda has been having some problems with its business model. Well, ZeniMax, actually, I should say. ZeniMax was having some problems with its business model for a while there, and it was starting to become operationally inefficient. Microsoft says, hey, we'll come in, we'll handle the ops for you, get your creative studios back to focusing on creativity, and you can make a better product. Everybody will be happier. They go, okay. Activision Blizzard is absolutely plagued by operational and administrative problems. It is a terrible, terrible machine. And so Microsoft is like, look, we will come in, save the day, you'll get your players back, and so on and so forth. Because I'm one of those like boycott Activision Blizzard people. And let me tell you, I would love to play the games, but I hate the company.
Now, are you boycotting them because of the crunch time or because of the sexual harassment stuff?
Everything all the way back to that Hong Kong thing. Like every time I look for an excuse to not do something and log back in, it's like, no, I can't do that in good conscience.
No shit, man. I've been playing World of Warcraft for 15 years now. 15 years, and they just released a new DLC. What the fuck? I stopped playing it because there's nothing else I can do that I haven't seen. Fucking make World of Warcraft 2. What the fuck?
Bro, if you haven't played Skyrim, you're missing out on Skyrim.
I have over 5,000 hours of Skyrim. Leave me alone.
Fuck World of Warcraft. Make something new.
Which of the 50 re-releases of Skyrim do you have that many hours in?
The original. Fucking come at me.
What a fucking Chad.
Give me that. Hold on. Give me that Steam name. Give me that Steam name. Let me prove it.
What a Chad.
Fucking Chad all day. My small dick energy is fucking huge.
I literally have 5 copies of Skyrim. I don't know how it happened.
But so ZeniMax operated as a shell company to handle the business side of things, so the creatives could get back to focusing on being creatives. The shell company became too big, too inefficient, and so by acquiring ZeniMax, Microsoft gets the studios and gets to absorb the administrative burden, which Microsoft is very, very good at, having like a million different teams working on a million different products.
The World of Warcraft discussion actually got me thinking. ZeniMax owns Elder Scrolls Online, and Blizzard has World of Warcraft. So those are 2 of the biggest MMOs. That means those monthly reoccurring purchases for the subscriptions are probably going to be decent revenue for Microsoft.
Yeah. So I have actually a good anecdote about this. Elder Scrolls Online used to be literally Elder Scrolls with an online experience. It was magnificent. But then later, executive instruction came in to make it a little bit more like Warcraft. And that, I mean, they were able to walk that back in subsequent updates, but that killed it for me, because it's like, look, if I wanted to play World of Warcraft, I would go play World of Warcraft. I wanted to play Elder Scrolls Online. And it's that kind of thing that kills creativity. Now Microsoft absorbing those two competitors actually winds up having a reverse effect than the one that you'd think, because they're no longer competing directly with each other. They're free to be more diverse as far as what they make. So Elder Scrolls Online could focus more, in theory, on being Elder Scrolls, and Warcraft could focus on being Warcraft. Because
Couldn't they make it? Sorry.
they don't have to compete with each other in that instance, because the company is making money either way. So it's like, make your own unique product.
I'm just saying that Microsoft is going to close that deal. They will make every concession they need to get the deal done, and that is closing. It is the best arbitrage play right now in the whole market.
I think I've got a billion things to say. I think the most important thing for me to say right now is the Azure stuff. The Microsoft Flight Simulator fucking is insane. And if you don't know about the tech behind that, then I don't blame you. But I think overall, Microsoft is trying to move the video game space into its cloud technology because of what they've accomplished with the Flight Simulator and like what they've done with the Azure servers and stuff like that there. I think if we saw a World of Warcraft that was built on that, it would be fucking insane.
Flight Simulator is crazy. There are people who have taken the controls of crashing planes and successfully landed them because of their Flight Simulator hours.
And going off of the cloud discussion for the cloud-based gaming stuff, that could potentially mean those MMOs or other larger-scale games could be essentially moved to mobile platforms, kind of like what Google Stadia was trying to do, but kind of failed to pick up a customer base for.
Don't you mention Stadia's name again.
I love the gamer crowd.
Listen, I'm so ready for zero G HOSAS. So when like my SpaceX flight gets I don't know, taken over by terrorists or whatever, we have to kill them. Then don't worry, I can bring that spaceship back home.
So Kerbal 2 is coming out next month, and I've been playing Kerbal 1, and I can say definitively that what the fuck SpaceX is doing is real hard.
You talking about rocket science is hard?
I'm fuck, dude.
Literally.
Glad we got real experts in here.
Right, pros.
Yeah, so I want to talk about games real quick. Red Dead Redemption has a server, Red Dead M, where people play like role-playing parts of that game. I see that as the future for gaming, and I think if games allowed more open source with their game platform itself, there would be a lot more happening with it. That takes me to Blizzard and the way that they stopped allowing people to have ownership over the games that they created. You know, like look at the tower builders and shit like that. People didn't have, you know, Dota. Yeah, exactly. That's the one I was trying to think of.
Yeah. What he's saying is game modes like Defense of the Ancients, Tower Defense, all that. A lot of games that are common now started off as like Warcraft 3 or StarCraft mods. And the new terms of service that Activision imposed on Blizzard games is that any game modes that you invent become the property of Activision Blizzard, which in my opinion is legally unenforceable because I forget what it's called. It's like if you oh goodness, it's like if you make your own clone video game of something else with your own original art.
Yeah, like the
It's
knockoff.
illegal. So it's just a nasty company, and hopefully Microsoft will fix it.
So calls on Microsoft or what?
I think Microsoft will destroy.
Long.
Yeah, I would go
But-
long Microsoft.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Activision, man, that is a easy trade. It's going to $95 and it's at $77.
Chat GPT being bought by Microsoft or not?
Just go read the merger agreement. It is definitive and it will happen.
You know, on that note,
who's the merger?
Right, they want a 49% stake, so they don't want to.
Wait. We're getting confused here. We're talking about ChatGPT. That's the 49% stake, right? The merger is Activision.
Correct.
Separate the two, please.
if once the Activision merger goes through, I would expect within a couple of quarters to see a lot of good like I guess cloud gaming or Xbox-based controller accessories. So look for publicly traded accessory manufacturers that are innovating in the space, and they're probably going to make a ton of money.
Oh, that's interesting. Do you have any names?
I do not. I'm just saying I predict that being where the market goes because there is a niche that's going to be filled by the loss of Stadia. xCloud is picking up. Xbox accessories are all already compatible with PC gaming, right?
Yeah.
And then you have Game Pass Ultimate, which is like a really good value. So you're going to want to buy more accessories as a gamer.
Yeah, and look at like the stream thing that's like Switch.
So hands down, the Steam Deck. I don't have one.
Deck, thank you.
Yeah, I want
Oh,
one.
baby.
Yeah, my understanding is that I can host Windows on it, and at that point, to your point, Shepard, is if I have a Game Pass and I have Steam and I have Epic, then like it's not a Switch anymore. I have a Switch in my hand that can play literally any game on Earth.
What?
Except
No. The hardware in the Switch cannot play every game.
I'm not talking about the Steam Deck, not a Switch. Fuck a Switch.
Oh, you just said Switch.
Put on Nintendo.
That's what I'm saying. I have a Switch. Don't get me wrong. Nintendo's wonderful. I have a Switch in my hand when I own a Steam Deck, but that Switch can play every game on the market except for PlayStation exclusives.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, well, so
Yeah.
I've got a Switch as well, and I actually jailbroke it so I can play games. But you
Yeah.
can still
Even
only
PlayStation
play.
exclusives have been coming out on PC lately.
Yes,
So-
I mean
that part.
the
And
Steam
it
Deck
wasn't-
is fucking stupid.
And wasn't that the big dream of the cloud-based gaming was that you wouldn't need the heavy hardware in your hands to actually play the game, so that you could play shit like COD that takes 200 gigs for install files in a phone?
Yeah, but I mean the efficiency of
Or
SD
like on
drives
tablet.
as well. I mean you're still good to go. I mean you buy a 500 gig SD card, it's $40 maybe, and you can play. I mean you can put 10 to 15.
Speaking of
more
which,
games.
it's a work day, and I want to go enjoy Stadia while I still can. So I'm
Hey,
gonna
real quick though, that little comment about the PlayStation exclusives coming out on PC, generally they take a while. Like, yes, they have started coming out, but notice that all the titles that have been coming out on PC are like from at least 2-year-old titles. Like Miles Morales was the most recent one. Before that, it was the original God of War, and that was like what 3 years, 4 years. So don't, unless you're willing to wait, don't expect to get it. Like the new Ragnarok, God of War Ragnarok didn't come out on PC. It's still an exclusive. So yeah, they'll come out, but eventually. Either way, long on Nintendo, 100%. They're gonna make money. It's the same shit that happened with Sony back in the day when I got into it for like $8. Like it
I
just
was
goes up.
going to leave, but are you in the bathroom or perhaps in some kind of tunnel?
I'm at work, so I have to hide. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, so you're in a tunnel.
2023 Japan's year.
So can we confirm that you're in the closet as you tell us about these plays?
The bathroom for this conference call, the closet for life, because my parents will disown me.
Fucking go hard, bro.
Oh God.
Office life, man. Office life.
Hey, this is your supervisor. I'm also on this call. Let's fucking go. Hey, how do we hide the bankrupt? Oh, my bad. No need. I already got a chatbot AI doing it for me. I don't need to be there. But don't tell my employers that. So supervisor, pretend you didn't hear.
Listen, hands down, if I was in an office in a fucking bathroom and my manager walked in and me and him both were listening to Wall Street Bets, I would work at that company forever.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
That will let you know that your supervisor's a degenerate just as you are.
I just realized
He kind of is. He took some of my advice and made like $700 the other week. So yeah.
I would work at that company forever. Well, you're fired.
Did anybody else jump into Bed Bath & Beyond calls yesterday? Because I am printing, and I am happy.
You jumped into 400% IV calls. You are so bold. I respect that.
You animal.
That I wish I had that level of confidence.
What's strike and expiration?
Expiration is on Friday. The strike price was $2.50.
True degenerate plays. I
Oh,
love it.
it's at $3 right now, Shepherdess, and you are printing. Go
Yeah.
ahead and get your money.
I'm also irritated because by doing this, I was marked as a risk, and I wasn't able to get an instant deposit in. So I could have been, I could have been making a lot more money.
So in other
It's at
words,
302. Do you think it's going to go higher? Like, you think it's going to hit 350? Because, like, that's.
Look, at this point, anything can happen. This thing can skyrocket to $50 today if it could.
I'm watching the patterns really closely because, again, I am convinced that someone out there is getting liquidated. Because if you look, AMC hit almost 20% at a peak so far today. And then all these unrelated shorted stocks are popping. So some kind of catalyst is hit. Now, whether that's sustainable, of course, it's not sustainable. So I'm just gonna
Are you going to print and roll back?
Probably.
Yeah.
So for the week, is that like 70% increase for BBBY?
%70, dude. They were at $1.30.
Let me look. Oh, they have gone above $3.06. So I am at 346.67% on the day.
Sheesh.
Hey, they're only $1.50 away from making up for their negative 450 EPS from last quarter.
What are you talking about?
We're
So
talking about the towel company.
Oh,
So are
BBBY.
they going to issue shares, or are they going to file for bankruptcy this weekend? Which comes first?
I feel like a CEO is going to commit suicide first.
Would it be wild if they announced it like a Monday morning that they got acquired by another company? That's why their shit is pumping today. And
I think somebody got an insider tip off, and it's causing chaos behind the scenes that's being hidden from but
I mean,
it
I'll
looks
give,
like a staircase for the week.
I will give Shepherdess this. I think she's right in pointing out not that necessarily BBBY is running, but that AMC, GME, all the meme stocks right now are at like at least 10%. And I do think that points to a bigger picture. I'm not saying this is the MOAS or anything like that, just that it looks like something is going on within that segment.
I'm sure the swap has something to do with it. Some kind of swap instrument has really gone sideways for some idiot, finally.
Yeah, this thing used to happen with futures trading when the contracts would expire. Then all of a sudden you lose all this like safety margin padding in your portfolio, so you have to close out your riskiest bets, which is shorting meme stocks.
BBBY is tearing.
So you gotta close out those risky positions, and then once you start up future contracts, you can pad your portfolio with more margin, and then you can open up riskier stuff.
Up 400% today. Really irritated I wasn't able to make that deposit.
All right,
But
so
again-
let's see if that holds. It's only been an hour. You know, you're going to have the highest volumes at the beginning of the day. Let's see if this holds up till the end of the day, because
It usually runs like
It
weeks.
looks like it'll plateau. I don't think it'll go below 260 for the day, for sure.
Don't ever guarantee that a meme
Yeah.
won't just tank.
Yeah.
Like I know it feels nice to be like, oh, big green numbers mean I jump in and I get to the next 20%. But like all that nice loss porn you get to see are just a bunch of people who had that exact same idea.
Yeah, today's probably too late to jump in, which is why I tried to jump in yesterday and got like risk assigned, which was annoying. Like, no, bro, I'm totally good for it.
Shepard, as we're getting further and further away, but you've mentioned Stadia a few times, and you seem like you're upset about that. I would suggest looking at Shadow if you haven't already. That's not a play; it's just a thing for anybody that wants to play video games.
No, you know, for the money, GeForce Now is probably better, or xCloud.
My experience with GeForce Now, well, Shadow gives you a computer, so I can install whatever the fuck I want to, right? By literally anything.
Yeah, the thing with this is Stadia, I could have my Stadia controller, right? I could use my phone, or I could load up Stadia on my TV, or I could go to my partner's house and load up Stadia on their TV or their living room TV or on my iPhone and use AirPlay, which LG has really low latency for its AirPlay for its TVs. But I really could game anywhere, and it was just a nice, fun service. And then the audio chip and the controller is like first class. I'm one of those needy people that doesn't blink at dropping like $200 for a dongle. Okay, so when I say it's first class, I mean it's first class. It's just sad, it was a good service, and I have good memories of it.
With you. I don't know. I liked it. I like the cloud stuff. I like Shadow, but I like my computer being anywhere. It's a very similar experience. I can take my computer literally anywhere with Shadow to anybody's house, put it on their TV. It's not a big deal.
So I just want to say how far this chat has come. That like the memes are all up 10% or something, and people aren't just in here mindlessly screaming about how like this is it. And we're actually like talking about multiple subjects. So I'm proud of everyone in here right now, because literally like 3 months ago, this would just be people screaming about how BBBY is it and AMC is it.
Yep. I mean, don't get me wrong. I doubled my money 3 months ago with you guys, but BBY is not it today.
I mean,
I feel like BBY is going to be right by Friday.
This could be the catalyst that kicks off GameStop MOA, since we know that there's lots of swaps involved with GameStop. But who knows?
Trust me, bro. MOAS.
If Bed Bath & Beyond keeps pumping over the next few days, then it might be something more interesting. But just right now, it seems it's too risky to just be a one-off thing,
I just want to say GameStop's the only one who's not going bankrupt. Just a little bit of
but it's at a
rationing.
more reasonable price, that's for sure.
I think they're going to use the meme stocks to crash the market so they can blame it on retail.
You think so?
I did.
Hold on. Who is
I got my tinfoil hat on.
But who's they?
Just the powers that be, the deep state, whatever.
I've seen articles read where they're saying that the market will continue to crash until the meme stocks go down.
But again, who is like if you're gonna say like they?
The Fed, like the banksters and shit.
The banksters and the hedge funds are going to crash the market.
No, not them. The people behind the scenes, like that you don't see.
I have blatantly seen the media.
The Illuminati.
Yep.
No, the ones that control the Illuminati,
The shadow retail.
It's
literally
a conspiracy
headlines.
theory. It's a conspiracy
Shadow Illuminati.
There's literally headlines that basically say like the pain will continue until people sell their meme stocks.
Man, why couldn't this wait until after tax time?
Listen,
there
are headlines.
Think about it. If they've been making off with all this money and shit and like all these people retirement funds, and they do have to essentially crash the market to get away with it, why wouldn't they put it on meme stocks and blame it on retail? So these people who lose their retirements and their fucking they go to take their retirements out and they can't get them. It's the perfect out. It's the perfect out and the perfect time.
Okay, I mean no disrespect when I say this.
I know.
Listen,
It's crazy.
Just take everything you say and replace they with lizard people from Mars. And you haven't changed the amount of wait, hang on. And you haven't changed the amount of actual concrete evidence that you have to show it's a thing. Like, just keep that in mind.
It's not at all. I can't say it's
I used to do it. It is totally true.
Let me
Rat
introduce
is
you.
a reptile, so we can listen to him. But just keeping this in mind, guys and gals, and lizards, keep in mind that at the end of the day, we are here to make money. And if somebody's controlling the money pot, that's okay, as long as we can have some of that.
Yeah, predict their play.
Oh, I have no idea.
So reptilians equal.
Price 22 cents a contract. Current value 99 cents a contract. Boy.
Yeah, I really feel like Bed Bath & Beyond is going to be around 260 Friday. That's my prediction.
All right. Ban bet.
Boy's about to get the hammer.
Oh, actually, the proof is The Simpsons.
Oh,
I'm just gonna go buy. I'm just gonna go buy some new bed sheets because I don't feel like washing mine.
Hey, so can I ask a genuine question real quick? You guys talk about BBY bed sheets and towels, and I'm just naturally curious why you guys don't go to Kohl's or Macy's or all the other stores that offer towels or bed sheets.
Who the fuck buys towels? Who even buys towels?
I get my
Casey,
towels
I
from
don't know.
the hotel.
Let's be real. The reason this chat hates towel stores is because y'all have one towel that you never wash and you've had it since you were 12, and that's your life.
You're saying this,
value, okay?
Brad, you're saying this as if we have showers.
Newspapers
Yeah.
work just fine. Can I,
Lost
but
and found towels, man. They're way nicer than I can afford.
a little thing that I've been holding inside for a while. I fucking hate talking about Bed Bath and Beyond.
Too bad, because let me tell you, this chart is erect.
But back to my question, this BBBY thing with the baby, whatever, do they own that much opportunity for them for the baby sector, or is it just something that they're just people are pitching as a headline? Is this really something that can be long-term bullish on, or are we just trying to do swing trades all day?
The rapper, the baby?
The catch-22 of Bye Bye Baby. So Bye Bye Baby by itself is worth more than the whole rest of the company. So as the company, you have to wonder, do I spin off Bye Bye Baby, the most valuable thing that I have, and then crash and burn because I don't have it anymore? Or do I use that to turn around and make the company, the whole company, survive?
I think you're missing one additional point in there, is that the debt holders have essentially levered up this business with the idea that when they declare bankruptcy, they will be the new owners of equity and they will take the company private and keep Bed Bath Bye Bye Baby for themselves. They have no interest in sharing that profit with you.
Yeah, that too. That also works. Recently a mall complex changed hands because some developer took here in South Carolina, some developer took a loan from a guy in Chicago. Seems to, if you read between the lines in the news headlines, it seems like they swapped debt for ownership because Chicago.
They should have done whatever Ryan Cohen suggested that they do, and instead they thought that they knew better, and now pathetic.
So just over an hour into the market being open, and WWE is already down over 2.25%.
Is that the World Wildlife Federation or something?
No, it's not that wholesome.
Almost. It's a lot of wildlife, but that headline, like the headline that people were talking about, the Saudi acquisition, that was like a total misguided. Like you couldn't have a more inaccurate headline if you wanted to, because the people that actually, like, I read the article, and in the article it states that Saudi Arabia might be interested, but the leading contenders right now are other companies like Disney, Comcast, and other U.S. companies that are looking for content. And the fact that they put in the headline that it was sold to Saudi was wildly like inaccurate. They should have been. Go ahead.
Sorry, I just said clickbait. That dude.
Yeah,
I did say that it was just a rumor.
No, that's true. It is a rumor, but I'm just saying, like, it seems like whoever published that article was paid to do so, because the headline and the content of the article couldn't have been more different if you tried. It's like saying Putin got elected president of the United States.
I went through about like 8 of them. I went to Twitter. I looked at the trend what was trending on that subject. Yeah, and you're right. Like they didn't even say how much it was sold for or anything like that. So
Well,
it's very vague.
One shareholder cannot sell a company.
Didn't
Right.
somebody mention that the options activity was looking weird too?
Yeah, I mean, one person cannot sell it. And first of all, it has to go before the board of directors for approval. It has to go to the shareholders for a vote because there's other shareholders in the company. One person cannot sell a company. I mean, that's
If
just
they're looking
ridiculous.
to
Even
sell it, okay,
like
but if they're
Elon
looking
Musk could not sell Tesla if he
That
wanted
a
to.
while ago.
if they're looking to sell it, or if they're looking to sell it, right? And the deal hasn't gone through, then that means that they're going to sell it above market price. So
No, but you're putting the cart way in front of the horse, right?
I know, I
At-
know, I know,
oh,
I know.
I,
But
Hey, what
I'm
ticker? What ticker
not.
are we
I'm
talking about?
WWE. I am
Okay.
not trying to say that this is a done deal and it's for sure, but I am saying that like this is a high risk, high reward scenario.
oh yeah, definitely. But like in
Hey,
order
sorry,
for
sorry. Since you guys brought this up again, Vince has control over the board of directors. He forced his way in, got rid of a bunch of people. He's got
it doesn't
majority
matter.
voting power. He's got B stock class. So yeah, he could sell it if he fucking wants. Not to mention he's got a bunch of yes men on the rest of the chair, on the rest of the board.
There
Sorry.
has to be an offer. There has to be an offer. Like
Yeah, he's in tight
there's
with the Saudis. This is old. Like he's been in business with them for like the past what? Correct me, whoever else is in here with WWE that actually knows. Past 6 years. Every show
it
that
doesn't
they
the SEC
it's the
it
most
doesn't matter what the, listen
lucrative
listen
way
it
that
doesn't
they've been
matter
making
what
money.
it doesn't matter what the Saudis do. There are SEC rules. There are laws that like rules that govern these types of transactions. And it
Right.
has to it's a public company. The other shareholders have to be informed about what's going on. There have to be
Yeah,
forms that
obviously.
need to be filed.
Hey,
And none of that stuff has happened. None of that
Yeah,
stuff has
right.
yet happened.
Nothing's happened, but yeah, go
So
ahead.
you're gonna
And at the same time, they're printing headlines that say it's been sold.
No, they've
No,
all
it
said
has-
it's rumors. I don't know what you're reading, but all of them have been. It's rumored that he's already sold. It's
No,
rumored
some
that
of
he's
them.
been in talks with the Saudi for a way back.
Okay,
But yeah,
some
nothing's
of the
confirmed.
articles titles are saying that it is sold. Some of they
Oh,
are
I
giving.
don't know. I'm talking about
Yeah,
the original article, like where everything started since last night. I don't know what
yeah.
new articles have popped up.
There are
There was
some
one
articles that
yesterday.
are being clickbaity. But are you going to wait until the deal is finalized and the thing pops up 25% pre-market and you didn't get in, or are you gonna like wait and take a look at the trends and technicals? Take a look at the trends and technicals. We're in a recession. It's a bread and circuses play. I'm thinking about pulling the trigger on this thing.
I'm not saying they're not interested in buying it, but I'm saying that like there's a procedure that needs to happen for all this. And right now it's like like I said, the cart has been put way in front of the horse. Now, if you wanna get in on it and speculate on it, that's obviously, you can spend your money the way you want to. All I'm saying is that like these headlines that we're seeing in the recent articles and the clickbait are way misleading. And like, when Microsoft announced they were acquiring Activision, they submitted an offer. It was publicized. There were documents that were submitted to the SEC, and so far none of that has been done yet. So it's like right now it's all
An
speculation.
opinion stopped the conversation earlier and said kind of what you're saying. Like this is
Yeah.
way out there. So yeah, we addressed
No,
this
no,
earlier.
no. There's a definitive merger agreement filed with the SEC on that deal.
Do you have documents on it?
Go read it.
Hey, so I think about our mods. I think about Luce. I think about Hardy. I think Hardy's going to tell me it may go up, it may go down. I think Luce is going to tell me buy the rumor, sell the news. And so it sounds like you guys got all your fucking answers.
Buy the rumors, sell the news.
Yep.
Speaking of
I'm
me,
just
Is that Kramer
arbitraging.
there?
It's a 50% return in 6 months. That's 50%. 77 to 95. Gonna happen.
Yep. Now, I would like to like go back to the massively multiplayer online gaming conversation a little bit because
Yeah, let's do that.
I wrote a from an economic standpoint. So like when I started playing World of Warcraft, it and I have an econ background, it struck me that these things are no longer games. These massively multiplayer online games. These are economic forces, right? It's an economic force because now you've got, first of all, you got people that are investing thousands and thousands of hours leveling up and building their characters. That's no longer a game. Like I consider Monopoly a game. You sit down with your family of 4, you spend an hour or 2, you have a fun game. After somebody wins, you put it away and you're done and until next time. Like
Can I
World
say
of
something about
Warcraft. Go ahead.
Do you know
real
what?
quick,
Do you know what? Do you know what a mud is?
the fact that they're role playing these games too make them not just games, but like stories, and people like
Correct.
to watch stories. Like they're it's almost like a movie, a script and shit. Like too now.
Like
Correct.
I'm not sure if you noticed, but people that still play Grand Theft Auto 5, they don't play the game anymore. It's like they role play
Oh.
in the game.
Yeah, my sister goes and hangs out with her friends on World of Warcraft, and she doesn't
Correct.
really like play it. Yeah, it's like it's her
Correct.
social hangout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like New Year's Eve, like World of Warcraft is like where the metaverse should be, right? Because then you have like you have an opportunity to do something that other than just stand there and like in the metaverse, there's no objective, right? In World of Warcraft, there's different objectives. You can do daily quests, you can go on raids, you can join guilds. You have like this social thing that's revolving around this game, and I think that's why Microsoft is so interested in Activision and why they're not going to give up on the acquisition, because they see something like this as the challenge to what Facebook is trying to do with the metaverse, right? In the metaverse, they're trying to get that going, but like when you go on there, there's really nothing to do, right? You can spend a lot of money and buy some house, some virtual real estate or stuff, but there's no mission, there's no objective. In World of Warcraft, you have like World of Warcraft. Like I said, you have people, first of all, that are investing thousands of hours building and leveling up their characters, which is like, it's more along the lines of a job rather than
That's
game.
why I asked if anyone
Then
knew
you
what
have
a mud was.
Okay.
Then you have
listen. 1999. Let's go back in time with me. The year is 1999. I'm 12 years old. I'm a fat kid. I'm sitting in a computer and I'm playing EverQuest 1. My first gaming memory is in EverQuest 1. I was walking around not knowing what the fuck I was doing at 12 years old, and I walked up on a wedding where these people, legitimately other people, were role-playing a fucking wedding in the middle of this video game where these two characters are getting married. And 12 years old, I walked up. I'm not a role player. I have no fucking idea. And they invited me into their wedding, and they role-played with me, and it was amazing. That shit, I'm telling you, back then, it was like every once in a while it would happen. But it's been 3 decades. And so now a lot of people are doing that shit, and it's going to continue to grow. I'm not saying people get really good, but they're role playing.
I can even take it back further. And
Who's in chat used to have role play rooms?
386 computer with a 2400 baud modem into there was not pictures on the internet at that time, and I made good friends on it was called a mud, and
I know what you're talking about.
it is super real. Yeah,
How
and
emojis were invented, right? There was no pictures, so you started to emote.
So the
And
point,
also-
back,
and-
if we
and-
circle back to the play, the point is that role play, to your point, is growing, and it will continue to. We're seeing that in Vox Machina. If you turn on Amazon today, there's a cartoon on there called Vox Machina. It's a D&D podcast.
That shit is
stream
fucking
thing.
dope,
Yeah.
dude.
It's
That
amazing.
Vox
I
Machina-
fucking love it.
Vox Machina is not for kids, by the way. So
No, it is not. But all of that is role play, and that is becoming bigger.
And I like that idea of what you're talking about, the role playing and the it's almost the social aspect too. I have a daughter who's a tween, and she loves Roblox. So to me, it sounds like Roblox for adults, kind of, where it's not just, hey, get off your game, you got to go do this. She's like, but my friends, like, she doesn't want to leave her group of friends.
Yeah,
So
but
I agree.
think about it this way: that is the metaverse developing. Like Mark Zuckerberg,
Exactly.
build.
You guys are like, no, don't get me wrong. Roblox, I think, is probably going to be the first metaverse. In fact, it probably already is.
Can I
Seriously.
say something? So I see the future being something like Discord, something that streams, not Discord, but Twitch, something that streams people playing games, being able to hold a server that allows people to almost instantly traverse between the games they play with their role-playing crew. Like, I know people that do that, but they have to switch consoles and stuff like that already. PC's
right.
the closest that allows them to do it almost seamlessly. But man, that's like the future for shit. And it cures handicap people. It's just fucking wild.
Now,
You can
again,
be a
back to the economic aspects of this. The other part that I wrote about in the paper was that at that time, then that this was going on, where people are investing these thousands of hours, there's also this dynamic where people were trading dollars for World of Warcraft gold, and there were Chinese farmers in China that were farming. Hold on a second. There were Chinese farmers in China that were farming gold. People in the U.S. were buying that gold, and at that time, a WoW gold piece was worth more than the Indian rupee. Like people were paying more for this virtual gold in WoW than you would pay for an Indian rupee if you were to exchange dollars for rupees. So it had like world. So hold on a second. So World of Warcraft had back then, it was an economic force. The other part is like when these kids are sitting in front of the television or they're sitting in front of WoW playing World of Warcraft, they're not doing other stuff that they would normally do, like go to a movie or go out to dinner or go out hang out with their friends at McDonald's and stuff like that. So these things all had financial impacts. The problem with Blizzard was that they didn't allow the WoW gold and the economy in the game to develop in conjunction with the real world economy that it was impacting. Like people that were buying WoW gold to buy like the Crow Blade because it was a powerful weapon, that was actually part of GDP for that year. Like if you spent US dollars to buy WoW gold in order to, so that you can afford to buy the Crow Blade so you could be a super powerful warrior, that was part of the GDP of that year of the economy. But Blizzard was blocking that stuff. If Microsoft opens that up, and like what the other person said, where you can and actually the Crow Blade was like one of the first NFTs that you could have, right? Yep. That's where NFTs come into play. Like WoW had NFTs long before these NFTs are being released today. The only difference is today they're being released on crypto. But a Crow Blade was this little icon that now you have it in your bag, which means that now it's yours and you can use it when you fight battles. So technically, those were the NFTs that you could buy back, or you could win or buy back in the day. Now, if you open this, if you open this economy up to where, like what the other gentleman said, you can have your crew, you can hop from game to game, you have ownership of your stuff. Like once you buy the Crow Blade, it belongs to you. It doesn't belong to Blizzard. And you start integrating the game economy with the real world economy where it's having an impact, which it is having an impact on. Then now you're talking about something big, right?
Blizzard,
and I think that's I think that's why Microsoft is interested in Blizzard, because I think they have an opportunity to do that.
But don't call it a game. It is
correct.
It is an existence. It's
a universe.
That is right.
Bigger.
That is right. It is not a game. Monopoly is a game. Chess is a game. Checkers is a game. These other things where you're investing thousands of hours and like 8-10 hours a day. Like we used to go on raids in All-Track Valley that used to last 24 hours.
Yep.
A 24-hour battle in All-Track Valley was like insane. Like you go to sleep, you wake up, the battle is still going on. You rejoin the battle. That's not a game. That is a way of life.
Okay. What's that other game that's very popular on PC? It's kind of like Star Citizen, but these ships like cost like.
That's what yeah. That's what I'm talking about right now. Let me put this in perspective for you guys. It's a game called EVO Online. There was a battle in this game, the Battle of BR5RB. I googled this a second ago because this battle in this game costs $300,000 to $330,000 real world dollars.
I was there.
Yep. Yep, I was there.
I was not there. The news articles that came out of that shit was fucking insane. But this whole thing dates back, again, go back with me, 1999, EverQuest 1. The reason that World of Warcraft beat out EverQuest 1 was the economy. Was because World of Warcraft's economy in the game was much more manageable, and like as a player, I could manipulate it, and it was like at the stock market. I could make money and shit. I couldn't do that in EverQuest 1. The money was kind of throwaway.
So the market for Blizzard actually goes back to people selling stuff on eBay with like Diablo 2 and stuff.
Yep.
Blizzard is angry about it because they have not been able to profit from it directly.
You did say something that's really interesting to me.
I have a number of God game accounts where I am the master and I have everything. And I could sell those things for stupid money.
Yeah. My Steam account is worth over
$5,000. Profit from it without manipulating the game. The companies need to be able to profit from it without manipulating the game.
Well, okay, so he brings up a good point that I had not considered, and it is that yes, NFTs have existed for a very long time, and I haven't even thought about that. But we've been buying that shit. CS:GO, Counter-Strike Go, Global Offensive or whatever is a good example of this. They had to shut down their skin market because people were gambling with them and using the skins as the currency for the bets and then cashing out on the other end for actual money. And so they were betting on games with NFTs basically, and then whoever won got the skins and then they would sell them and make the actual money off of the bet. It was fucking insane.
Oh yeah, I sold my 90 level Rogue on eBay. I sold my Death Knight on eBay. I mean, I made real world money on my characters in World of Warcraft when I cashed out.
I just want to point out something that people who haven't played in a while may not realize when it comes to World of Warcraft. I was one of those people that used to buy gold in game, just because it was so much easier than grinding for it. But now Blizzard is doing like a lot of places are, and they're cramming so many microtransactions and things you can buy from their shop. One of the things you can buy from their shop now, you buy it for real money, you sell it on the auction house, and then that's their way to make money off of it instead of you going to a gold farmer.
Well,
so they have made it to where they can profit.
No, no, you don't. I mean, from an economic standpoint, that's communism, right? Where you have a central authority that tells you what you can buy and what you can. That's communism, and that's what I'm saying. That part needs to be opened up. I argued back in my paper. That's why I wrote the paper, like the economic paper. I was arguing that Blizzard needs to open up their economy to tie it into the real world economy and stop being communist, right? The democratization, the democratization of these massively multiplayer online games is like the next frontier. Once that happens, you're going to have like a massively multiplayer online economy that's going to be insane.
I completely
agree. And have laws. Yep.
I think that they tried. I want to say there was an effort. I want to say it was EVE Online actually that tried to tie their currency to real world currency and make it all official and do the thing. And I think they got shut down. I may be wrong. That's all. I'm remembering this though.
That's where crypto has a role to play. The part that was missing, in that whole thing is that these economies can't be controlled by the game makers. The underlying framework for the economy has to be something like a crypto that people can have their own control over it. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Like capitalism doesn't work unless you have private ownership of capital, right? And that's what needs to happen in these games.
Can I provide an alternative
Regulation
point?
and laws need to be put in place to control it. The games need to be fucking like regulated
Can we
to
let
have
the guy
an
who
operate
wants-
that is.
I like the counterpoint. No, let's hear the
I
counterpoint.
want the counterpoint. Yeah.
So in the sense that you're talking about Activision Blizzard needing to open up, I mean, and saying that they're communistic, I mean, they are a capitalist company. The whole point of restricting everyone is that they want to create a monopoly so they do become the centralized party, because that's what they can monetize. They themselves, as a capitalist company, can monetize the control that they have over what you need. They don't need competition. In fact, they're trying to suppress it actively. That's what leads to their profitability. Would that not be the right angle?
They need to start charging like 2 and 20 on the transactions.
So from a Microsoft perspective, if we circle back, you can abstract their business model down to I completely lost my train of thought, but it's the word you just said. Say that again. Say what you just said, Wall Street. The end of what you just said.
Sorry, man, I got distracted by something else on my
screen. Yeah. No, it wasn't the 2 and 20 thing. It was the end of fuck, bro. I got distracted too and lost the whole goddamn thing. Fuck my life. It's old. Is this old? Is this fucking old people?
No, I had a trade come up on my screen and I got distracted by that. Sorry. What I meant to say, I believe what you're referring to is me saying that they are the centralized entity that's trying to monopolize the market.
Centralized. Microsoft, you can abstract their entire business model down to centralization. They've been doing it for fucking ever. They centralized all the developers behind their APIs back in the day and stole all the business from Sun. They're doing the same thing today with Visual Studio because everybody doesn't want to do anything unless it's in Visual Studio. Like they have monetized and created a business model around centralization. They want everybody to use their shit centralized. That's why Azure is doing what it's doing. That's why they're trying to acquire Blizzard.
That's partially true, but that's different than a centralized economy.
Oh, no, I agree.
What Microsoft also did was they had certified developers. There's independent companies that became Microsoft certified business partners. They open it up so that other people could share in the wealth of that centralized product that they created.
But it's all centralized.
And that's the part that, No, the product is central. I mean, the platform is centralized, just like Blizzard is centralized, but they open it up so that other people could also participate in the economy. Otherwise, Microsoft wouldn't have gone anywhere. If Microsoft wouldn't have opened it up to other developers and had apps that being developed for their platform, nothing would have happened. And they need to do the same thing with Activision.
Do you think that the centralization operates? I mean, the open source that Microsoft like uses for people to like manipulate their their like shit.
Close enough.
So
Go ahead.
to it operates as a guide for helping them centralize, because the more that they have people inputting information, the more that they can centralize themselves to control.
So welcome to behind the scenes Microsoft since like 1970.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And Unix is too complicated for most people. So Microsoft they made it easy for getting masses onto their platform and governments.
I love Unix. I enjoy it actually.
I like Unix, but we're not normal.
I don't even know what Unix.
Don't.
Yeah, that is a rabbit hole.
Yeah, and the other end of it is a neck beard and a fedora. Don't do it.
Hey, come on.
So yeah, long on Microsoft though, for real. I noticed lately too, so I'm not like really into technology, but I noticed lately that when I was a kid, I'm 34. When I was a kid, Microsoft sucked because I always got viruses. And lately, everything that I have that Microsoft has to do is I don't feel like I have the same fucking issues anymore.
So everybody got this wrong. Don't get me wrong, it's terrible, but Microsoft got viruses because they were targeted. Apple didn't get viruses because nobody gave a fuck and they didn't target them. And that's still the case today. It's just harder to do because they locked it all down. But
Apple locked everything down. It's really hard to get into Apple. It is.
But I mean, make no
kind of
mistake,
easy.
if you're talking about hacking, you're talking about Unix, which is the core of Apple anyway.
Yeah, but I think the
but
thing
you
with
can't
Apple
ha-
is different.
You can't. Yeah, it's locked down. It's really hard to hack.
I agree.
No. I think it's the I read about this somewhere, but it's something to do with how Apple scans its software compared to Windows, and that makes it more difficult for like something to run on Apple without the OS noticing.
You want to know about Apple and their security? Just look at what happened. I think it was back with the Boston bomber. He had an Apple phone, and the FBI wanted Apple to create a back door into their security so they could see what was on his phone, and Apple told him to fuck off.
You're talking about the hardware security, like getting into the phone.
Correct.
I'm talking about the operating system itself. I mean, yeah, getting in access to the operating system, sure, but once you get into Unix, on the back end of all these operating systems, for the most part, it's all the same thing. For the most part. And so, if you're a hacker and you're operating in the hacker space, seriously, you're running like Kali Linux more than likely. You're a Linux guy, if not a Unix guy, and you know more about this shit than anybody here.
So Microsoft is getting less viruses now because they are getting better at scanning their operating system.
I'll tell you why Microsoft is getting Windows specifically is getting less viruses now because of virtualization. What they've done is they've compartmentalized Windows such that when you install a new piece of software that's not signed by a company that is trusted, they run that in a virtualized session of Windows such that the first few times you run this piece of software, it's in a virtual space that they can just destroy, so that if there is a virus or some malicious code or something is caught, it just destroys that instance completely, wraps the whole thing up in a nice little package and says, hey, this thing tried to fuck you up and nothing happened.
Yep, that's right.
That's cool.
Virtualization.
But I'll continue with Apple though. What they did is they made this nice little. It's like living on a property, like, and there's no way to get in. It's really hard. So your iPhone is very secure.
I mean, unless I
Whereas-
shoot you in the face and use your face.
I mean, there won't be much of your face to use if you shoot somebody in the
Fair
face.
enough. I shot you in the heart instead. My bad.
Okay, guys, let's
What?
not be too morbid on here. For
I just I don't know, man. It doesn't make a difference. Everything in the world's secure until you let the hacker in your network closet, right? It's all secure.
I feel like everything can be reversed if it's like programmable, right?
With enough time, you can brute force just about anything. Just about. Apple locks that shit down too, so kudos.
In other news, anybody check the EIA distillate fuel production change that came out? Or gas stocks?
What's going on with Carvana today? It's up 20%.
Hang on, don't just skip over his question. Come on now.
I just didn't know if you guys had already chatted about it. It just came out at 10:30. Looks like EIA gasoline stocks change came in higher than expected. Distillates stocks change is actually lower. Distillates, if you don't know, chemicals, diesel, one of the main, I guess, what would you call that? Oils within that category. The reason it's important is because all the trucks and transportation runs on diesel. So if you have low stocks, prices go up, transportation goes up, maintains inflation potentially.
That part. And is affected by inflation.
And CVX is currently trending down on that news, moving past the 100-day moving average.
I got I own some Chinese petroleum companies, and the EDRs got delisted. Barclays has decided they no longer wish to support them. I don't know if anyone else experienced this, but I had to move a bunch of money out of some Chinese petroleum companies into hard shares in Hong Kong. No one else?
Sounds like a headache. No.
All right. But go try to buy CNOOC or
Yeah. No, I talked about this
it-
last week about how you don't really have it. It's not, you don't have an ADR for most Chinese companies if you're an American. So this is a risk. So did it cost you money to do that? Did you lose in the trade or?
Oh, it's in a long-term portfolio. I don't care about it. But they're getting delisted from the U.S. exchanges.
Do you have any context on why?
I don't know that that's a productive conversation. I mean, I can tell you why, but here.
Fair.
It's all part of the plan. It's all part of the plan.
We're about to go to war with China over Taiwan, but we'll see what happens.
That's pretty much what I figured.
We're gonna make our own foundries, and then we're gonna let China take over these older, rundown factories.
Yeah, I don't want to go down that road at all, but we're not going to war with China over processor.
I mean, we might, but
China
we would.
doesn't have-
We would. That's why we're trying to.
Never know.
Today, China doesn't have the naval capacity to get to Taiwan before the U.S. got in the way. That's where it sits right now.
I want you guys to pause for a minute. Listen, Russia invaded Ukraine and we stopped going to space. So if you guys think that China's going to invade Taiwan and we're going to be like, oh my God, Intel i9s aren't enough for like a couple of years, then no, we're not going to invade China or go to war with China over new processor.
I think we would. I think we
No,
would. And
absolutely
that's why.
would.
That's
Oh no,
and that's what. Hold on.
Apple
Can I
Apple
finish
has
my
already
fucking
Apple has
sentence?
already built Apple has already built their own foundry, and those processors are freaking amazing.
Let's please not step over people. As Rad the Reptile said, he was proud of everybody. Let's not disappoint him.
Fair point.
Let's speak. Oh, I love that sentence.
Opinion. You don't want to make me a host, man.
Look,
Tim
Tim
handle the
picked
power.
No,
So,
let's speak.
Yep, what I
I
was
want to
gonna
listen to Slut.
Walk Geek was saying that we wouldn't go to war with China over semiconductors, and I totally disagree. I think that we would, and that's why we're trying so hard to avoid it, because we do not want to go to war with China at all. That's the last thing that we want. But so that's why all these foundries are being made domestically now.
I
Okay,
think
other
we should
guy.
probably cut it here, just because it's going to turn into a lot of speculation.
I
That's really
agree.
my place.
Yeah.
BBY is at 309. GameStop at 1872.
I did.
BBY or BBY?
Oh man, I missed the last B. I'm
BBY, which is Best Buy. Sometimes it runs up when the hype goes up for Bed Bath & Beyond because people get the tickers wrong.
Yeah,
AMC
dyslexic
is up
people.
16%.
I think we can probably, at least for the short term, say that if we're talking about any set of Bs, we're talking about Bed Bath & Beyond right now.
There's also the BBY COVID strain that's coming out, about to drop.
Fantastic. So I came across a piece of news a second ago. If you guys will recall, we talked about rivers being low. I Googled that, trying to find some information, and came across a piece of news that said that 2 hours ago, this was posted, that said that Europe's natural gas demand was low. They had a warm winter, and that they have stockpiled natural gas over the winter so far. And that their rivers are low too, actually, and they're struggling with logistics there also. It's just information.
Yeah, this is why Boyle's getting the shit kicked out of it. But luckily, I've been playing the shipping companies because even though the demand is low, where they get the supply, you can make money off of that. So they switched from Russia to America.
And winter's not over yet.
Fair point. We are not in the worst of it, I think.
Yeah, it's just begun, really.
So the low water thing and logistics is something that I don't think we're talking about a lot, but it apparently is a big deal globally.
And the demand is so low because they freaked out and they tried to stockpile and get as much as they possibly could up to till where it's overflowing, to the point where they've just got ships hanging off the coast filled with liquid natural gas.
Well, they don't have a lot of storage to begin with, so overloading their storage capacity doesn't take a lot actually. And like the Danube River that flows through most of Europe and the Rhine, those are very important waterways for commerce. If those go low and they can't ship as much stuff, it's a disaster.
That's what I'm saying. They're they're talking about potentially closing those two rivers.
I think maybe we could clarify. What are you saying, that the demand for using gas is low? Because I don't believe that the demand for importation is low.
Yeah, it's a warm winter, so they don't have as many heaters turned on. It's a two-facet conversation that I'm trying to have. The natural gas is more for you guys because we've been talking about it a lot. I know there's a lot of people in the European natural gas space right now. The rivers, I keep coming back to this because it's a logistics nightmare, right? And we're already in the middle of a logistics nightmare, but it's like it keeps getting swept under the rug, and not by you guys, but by globally apparently. And I keep coming across articles that are like, potentially closing this river, and I'm like, what the fuck? What's happening?
So you're anticipating a shipping bottleneck either because rivers are being closed due to low water levels, or they just can't send as many ships at once due to low water levels?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's just like,
second
well,
one.
Sorry, the rivers are, let's just say, a reduction in the ability to move stuff on rivers.
So I don't think that's that big of a deal, just because we'll just put it we'll just ship it to different places via train or, truck. But
it's not
just
so
going to be
easy.
a part of
You
inflation.
can't do that. That's not
Yeah.
how it
Yeah,
works.
yeah. Okay, so
Taking maritime shipping and just saying I'm just going to put it on a truck or a plane is not a simple flick of a switch.
No,
And
it's
when
not
you're dealing
simple.
with
I don't mean to be simple,
and when you're
but
dealing with
it's going to be what
LNG,
happens.
no,
But
when you're
with the
dealing with
thing about liquid
LNG, it's
natural
not
gas,
that easy either. It's liquefied. It's
You
not
got.
like a container,
I
right?
actually
gas
know
at
this.
room
It requires
I know
specialized.
this. I'm just gonna jump in. Sorry, you cannot just move liquefied natural gas like via truck to like
Sorry,
to move like.
I didn't realize that was the topic directly. Sorry.
Yeah. You can't.
Well,
It's
no,
so
no,
much
no,
more
no. It's a little conflated. I'm not necessarily talking about moving natural gas at all. Natural gas information was for you guys because, again, I know there's a lot of people in the natural gas space. I personally am concerned about logistics.
Yeah, so and I was speaking to that, like the logistics of it. I feel like, if you can't get shit up the Mississippi River all the way, you're gonna, from like the Great Lakes or from the Gulf of Mexico, you're gonna put it in port and you're gonna put it on a train. You're gonna send it to fucking Oakland or some shit, like it's gonna take more time, it's gonna cost more money, it's gonna be a
Right.
part of inflation, but it's
We-
gonna get done.
We've long past established that that's not going to be an easy thing to do, right? We've been talking about logistics. We've had truck drivers talking to us, all kinds of stuff. And so there's something there. I don't know what the plays are, but there's definitely some sort of something in logistics happening where we could make some money or lose some, especially.
so large
I can't speak to
warehouses.
that, but I just started a trucking company and we were gonna truck shit, but you cannot move enough natural gas to feed a population. It is on a truck. You can move goods, but
Fair enough.
energy is a tough one. I mean, you need a boat that is 100 times, no, even more, like 250 times the size of your house, and to move gas, and
It's
that's
also
enough
got to be a
gas
special,
for like a
special
week.
container. It's also got to be airtight because you don't want the gas to evaporate.
And secure. Yeah. Trains, man. I love trains.
That's
I
what
like
we're saying.
Falls on Apocalypse.
Oh, sorry.
So does Warren Buffett. He's bought most of it. Berkshire Hathaway, then. And
So I think that might be his play on Oxy, right? Don't they have like the largest deposit of natural gas in the Permian Basin? So if you say that exports of natural gas will be coming out of the States going to Europe, that would be a nice consistent play there, wouldn't it?
And if it can't be moved down rivers, they can be moved on trains. So then looking at train stocks, I don't know. I always liked I can't think of fucking words right now. Fucking
Berkshire Hathaway. I mean, Warren Buffett's not going to lose money. That guy is smart, but it's not like what you guys like to do here, where you make like, triple your money in 3 weeks.
But it could be. If we do it right and everything takes a shit at the right moment, it absolutely could be. But that's a lot of speculation.
My Delta airline calls are up 500% this week.
That's insane.
What's the strike expiration?
I just hope for like 15 to 20% per year. If I can do that, that's great. I don't
on your entire portfolio.
Yeah, I don't need to play craps.
I think we'd all be very cool with 15 to 20% a year on our entire portfolio compounded.
GameStop. That's like a pretty large percentage for an overall portfolio, right? That's like twice as much as a scam would promise you. it promised you about 6 to 8%.
I think.
I thought
I
that.
mean, I made that for 15 years for a billionaire. So that's what I do.
I hope you make it. I really want you to. I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I hope it happens. I hope we all make that.
Hey, if
So
someone
I
works for
wanna-
Amazon, does that mean they're working for a billionaire too? I'm just curious. Just curious.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
And if you work for the government, you work for a trillionaire.
Oh, the private equity hedge fund industry is as large as the U.S. Treasury outstanding.
But but Rad,
If you invested in SPY, you'd make 15% a year.
So all that conversation, did anyone ever say I'm bullish on Microsoft? I'm going to buy it or Activision? I mean, like
if you're
someone,
not-
I guess you tacitly said
I said
Activision's the play.
I said Activision is a 50%. I mean, it is a signed document filed with the SEC at $95 a share, and
I got calls on Activision. Yeah, I've got calls on Activision. I'm long
Yeah.
Microsoft all the way.
Sorry, I know it wasn't that obvious, but I just kind of go back to it. People were asking for plays back then, but yeah, don't need specific calls and all that. But
I can't even say your name, my dude. I'm not gonna get it right. Let
Monkey.
him finish. He keeps getting cut off.
Who?
The truth y'all guy, I guess that's the best I can get out of this. There's too many letters for me right now. I'm done with this.
Oh, sorry. It says, "Ain't that the truth, y'all?"
Ain't that the truth, y'all?
Look. I ain't got time for none of these reading things.
Listen,
Just let Ain't That the Truth y'all speak. That's all I'm saying. Unless you have nothing to say.
Good talk. Good talk.
I said, Activision, 100% is like just arbitrage the shit out of that trade. It's gonna happen, and free money right there, sitting there. But I mean, y'all like to make crazy gambles, so it's not like that interesting. But I mean, Microsoft is gonna buy that company for $95 a share. It's filed with the SEC. They will push it through the government. They will make whatever concessions are required, and it will happen. It's like guaranteed money. Best thing.
Okay, let me provide a counterpoint to that. The market disagrees with you, hence why it's trading at $77 or $78, right?
Oh, it's moving its way up. Look at the chart for a month. I'm telling you, Microsoft runs almost every government in the entire world, and they will get whatever they wish. Give me a merger that Microsoft tried to do that didn't work.
I think they tried to buy Yahoo a couple of years ago. That didn't work out.
Also, keep in mind the market for a long time didn't respect the Twitter buyout either, right? But that ultimately ended up happening. So there's always going to be a certain gap just to account for the risk.
Yeah, and I love that trade. What a beautiful trade that was, and it happened, right?
So Activision though, like if you were to go long on it, what are you thinking? Like year, 2?
No, they're gonna buy it in June. Like, you go read the merger agreement that they filed with the SEC. Microsoft signed a document saying they're gonna buy it, and the only out is if the federal government blows it up, and the federal government will not blow it up.
Well, I mean, to Rad's point,
What are the odds?
to Rad's point, that's not the only obstacle because it's not just the United States government, right? Like, there's other governments involved, and I don't know if we can just say definitively that Europe is going to do what we think they're going to do.
So I want to speak overall. I do think it's a good trade to play. I think he's got a good point, and I'm not very worried about the U.S. government because Microsoft can navigate that. I'm just saying if you're going to look for a risk, I would view the UK case as a bigger risk than the U.S. government stepping in.
I agree with everything he just said.
I think that if you think the UK government can derail a merger that Microsoft has already signed a definitive document on, I think you're. But who knows? It's just a trade.
They might
But
not be able to. I'm just saying I view that as a more likely area where they get a no than the U.S. government, because it's like when Internet Explorer was an issue, right? There was all this thing from the government about Microsoft's monopolizing the internet, and what did they do? They were just like, "We'll just let you put a different Internet Explorer on the computer," and then it was solved. So they can navigate the U.S. government. That I'm not worried about.
I mean, if you want to play that deal, why would you not buy 100 shares of stock, then go buy the 7750 2025 put? Your net out looks like it's about 8,050. If the deal goes through and they sell at 95, you make a what, $8 profit?
I already have this trade on hard, but if you think that the UK can derail a $1.3 trillion corporation, you're fooling yourself. I'm sorry. That's just reality. Come on. Like
You really think it's going to push it up to 95 though?
Yeah, that is what the contract says.
Yeah,
That's what the contract says.
It will go to the buyout price. It's just like
Yeah.
Twitter. Twitter was bought at 54.20, and when the deal went through, that's where the shares ended at. It's the same notion. It will go to that price.
Yeah, it's in the freaking contract filed with the SEC. You know.
I'm trying to look up options. Like, can you just for me? What's what's a contract for buying like 95 in expiration in July? Then
Do note with a lot of these plays, the options already have a lot of that priced in, and you're just better off
Yeah.
going with shares and just waiting.
Yeah,
it out.
yeah. I'm just in shares. It's yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's right. That's I mean like.
But are you holding Microsoft and Activision, or just Activision? For the
I will
purposes
never
of this play.
I will never sell Microsoft. That is long term in my portfolio. But I loaded up on Activision.
Fair enough.
I started buying at like 70.
Same
And
deal with WWE. You don't really want to go with options. You want to go with shares if this deal goes through.
Is there a buyout for WWE? Or I thought that
There's
was
a rumor. There's a rumor that
Yeah, we don't have paperwork though, right?
No,
Apparently there's filing.
There's nothing concrete with WWE. There is concrete with Blizzard Activision,
Right,
which is why if you buy it now, assuming that you're confident it's going to go through, then you should anticipate getting $95 a share when that deal finalizes on your Blizzard Activision shares.
And that's a.
Do you feel like
weird
it's
way
going to
to-
go lower?
I mean,
As
it's filed with the SEC by the company that runs most of the government's computers. It's going to go through. It's a great trade.
Ain't that the
Hey,
truth,
also,
yo?
as of right now, for WWE, for the latest news from the dirt sheets is that somebody from higher ups has said that there's no confirmation of the deal with Saudi. But then again, they've also lied to the dirt sheets before. They're not 100%, so take that with a grain of salt. Oh, for those of you that are not with the whole wrestling thing, dirt sheets are basically people who get behind the scenes information based on talking to like higher ups on the executive level, all the way down to like just the pro wrestlers and stuff. That's what a dirt sheet is.
Can I go back to Activision? I'm just wondering, like, do you think it's going to be falling, like, more? Or do you think it's going to steadily go up?
It's going to steadily go up to, I'm an arbitrator. It will steadily go up and then pop. And Microsoft is going to buy that company. It's like a trade you can't lose money on.
Yeah, it's just going to pop every now and then, huh? But, like, 77 seems to be, like, the...
I'm telling
yeah.
you, go to Edgar and pull the SEC filings, and that agreement. I read it, and it is solid. Save the only thing is antitrust, and Microsoft will solve that problem. So it's $95, by June.
They
I
do
think
this. The government does this. Okay, the government does these things. Whether it's UK, the US, doesn't matter who does it. They do these things when they want to get money, right? The government wants to get money somehow. Like, for example, a good example, not related to Microsoft, is Wells Fargo, right? They robbed people blind for a decade. Not a single person was criminally. It was a crime, like wire fraud, securities fraud, racketeering, you name it. Not a single executive got arrested. What they did instead, Wells Fargo said, "We're going to pay you $2.3 billion as a penalty if the DOJ stops their investigation of Wells Fargo, and will settle the case and not claim any responsibility." Government gets their money. Wells Fargo gets what they want. Government gets what they want.
It's not.
Everyone
It's
goes
actually,
away happy.
yeah.
The,
It's not. It's
the,
actually you pay a penalty
the
for
the government calls
education.
the government calls it a penalty. We all know that it's just a euphemism for a bribe so that nobody goes to jail, any of that kind of stuff. Microsoft, one of the most powerful corporations, all they have to do is open up their wallet a little bit. They're going to buy off it's not going to be called buying them off, but they're going to buy off the politicians in the UK. They're going to buy off the regulators in the US. They're going to get what they want. That's how it happens. It's business. It's just business.
This man
It's good business.
understands exactly how it works.
I do agree with you. I think honestly, my perspective is that they continue to say antitrust because they know they're going to have to stop something at some point. I don't think that they've gotten there yet. Whether or not Microsoft and Activision is that, I don't know. But I think we're all looking at this going, okay, that's okay, but maybe not. And the government's doing that also, right? And so I think they're gearing up to fight that fight. I don't know when it's going to happen.
Well, I mean, the same thing happened with Twitter, and no, like you can't fight Microsoft. That's my point.
I agree.
All right, just to keep it simple, if you believe the deal's going through, then Blizzard Activision shares right now, emphasis on shares, are essentially free money.
Exactly.
I agree.
I know
And
some who actually were.
I got to park money somewhere, and that's what a great place to park money.
No, it's a
what
good
were you
trade.
saying, Joe?
I should probably ask a friend of mine who actually works IT for Blizzard if he's heard anything on the inside.
Yeah, sure. And just come by and just don't repeat that last line. We'd appreciate that.
Yeah. Please don't move inside information. Yeah.
No,
Yeah, we've used friendly stories around here, but yeah, I mean, definitely, if you guys know anybody who knows somebody who knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, and you want to come back with that story, that's okay. But just tell us a story. Don't say that you know somebody that knows somebody.
If you heard it from Nancy Pelosi,
I cannot talk about that, but I'm just saying it's free money.
We're not playing World of Warcraft.
Guys, don't trade on insider trading. Eventually, you're going to make too little money for what you're going to trade, and you're going to get busted, and you're going to end up in jail. And on that note, just remember, tomorrow CPI comes out, 8:30 in the morning, major event, and see you guys later.
All right, now that the FBI agent has left,
right? If Pelosi tells you it's all, then that info is all above board. You're totally allowed to do it.
It was a Chinese gold farmer.
Yeah, I want to say words.
I actually have tried, and I'm saying this on the live line. I tried to track Paul Pelosi, and dude, he is so hidden behind so many LLCs. It's insane. That guy.
I think that's nearing too close to political discussion for my taste. If we can move on.
So speaking about potential plays, Ape is still trading well under AMC and still has a 1-to-1 conversion. It's kind of like Blizzard Activision, except there's no signed paperwork, so AMC could 100% crash and then, it doesn't work out. So it's the stupid version of that play. But who doesn't like the stupid version of that play? I mean, aren't we here to be the stupid version?
Why not both?
I'm here to just make money, and I love listening to it.
Already walking down that path with you on the ape.
I'm honestly here to just learn from you guys and then put it all in algorithms and see if I can get my computer to do it for me.
I'm not even trading. Joke's on you guys.
I'm just here to make sure Opinion doesn't get to go do whatever it is he would actually like to do for most of the morning.
Darn it.
I'm just here smoking crack and listening and bullshitting.
I'm doing exactly how America took over Canada. We just stand here and we wait.
Yeah, we waste all the Canadian time. That's basically it.
Hey, speaking of politics,
I'm here to make lifelong friendships.
I just want to say, speaking of politics, aren't you glad you're not Canadian politics? I mean, they just sit there all day and yell at each other.
In a nice way.
All we're doing is
Did he just
filibustering.
dox himself with the I-20 West Ram?
All they do is
yeah, that was
all they
me.
do is sit and yell at each other. That
Well,
sounds familiar.
I was just wondering.
There's no
where he
secret.
is.
I'm in Augusta. I've said it before. I live in Augusta. I have no problem with that.
Yay, sleepover.
Land party.
Hey, Opinion, are you there?
caught
By
the
the way?
getting taped up to the roof. Sorry, keep going.
Am I what?
Opinion, are you around?
Yeah, I'm always here.
He's always around.
There's only one of him, and I'm wondering if that's his Discord streaming.
What? Are you hearing noise?
He'll be back. He's just routing
you hearing
Canadian
noise?
internet.
I posted the like somebody asked me to do a little more info on that selling strangle and buying straddle play. So I posted some info up on the WallStreetBets subreddit, and then I got a message that it was taken down because it was spam. I didn't understand that. I wanted to know what I did wrong in my post that caused it to be labeled as spam, because I wasn't trying to sell anything. I was just, people asked what more for more information, and that was really all I did. Pardon me?
Probably got a link in there to some.
Who's
like,
sorry, who's speaking?
Alpha. Yeah, I'm struggling with that too, Opinion. I don't see anybody speak.
Oh, Opinion, that's Human Genome.
Okay, I'll take a look in your history.
He took
Thank you, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, Human Genome, you're not showing up, so I don't know if you need to.
Real weird.
But yeah, the Wall Street Bet bot is very good at blocking bad things, but it definitely has made posting DD very difficult. When it's been like, we scanned your image and there's a hidden ticker in here, and I'm like, it's a picture of a cat.
Opinion's here, by the way.
Yeah,
If
Opinion,
you
did you overhear what we said about you?
Yeah, Canada.
I did. Actually, I was responding to you guys, but I was muted on actually Reddit, not my mic.
His Reddit mic wouldn't let him actually comment on those topics.
Actually, I'm curious, Opinion. How many of your subs have tried to gift you a Tesla? Just curious.
None, and that really speaks to my lack of comedic value and also lack of breasts. But
Well, hold on. We don't actually know that. He probably has about 5,000 unread messages that could be, here's your Tesla, that he hasn't gotten to.
That's true. I should go read those all now.
It's like 12 Teslas.
Box and ankle.
I have 100,000 unread emails, and I bought the option to buy the Tesla truck. It has not yet materialized.
You haven't checked your email.
I promise you, there's going to be a truck.
I hope there's a truck. I do.
Well, okay, so there might have been a truck, but not anymore.
Look, the overall point is when you're internet famous like Opinion and a big deal Reddit mod, you get gifted many Teslas, but you have so much overwhelming information, you just can't find them. And someone needs to fix that problem.
Well, no. The real downside of being internet famous is that you can't leave the talks when you want to.
Yeah, that's why Luce is never here.
Can't you just like make an AI for that?
I am the AI for that. Thank you.
Just download all my chat
Opinion's too
messages.
busy making money.
Control F for Tesla.
Well,
It's
if
not
we're
in there.
smart enough,
Delete
we
it.
could go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just going to say we could record all these voices and then train the algorithm to just recognize voices. And then the ones we don't like, we just literally move to audience and then bring them back up every now and then just to play. And then, yeah, we could train an AI. We could legitimately do this.
I feel like you have a whiteboard up with all this drawn on it already. It's actually, you've already sent it to Opinion. Again, he still hasn't opened it. Anyhow.
We have no comment further. Thank you.
I'm back. Can you guys see me now?
Oh, we
Isn't that
can.
crazy
Yes.
though?
Yeah.
That's why I never show anyone my eyes or my face, is because they're the passwords to my bank accounts.
Well, we were going to go with icons, but you guys keep changing them, so we had to go with the voice.
I could do an easy Turing test on this, though. I'd be like, hey, this guy hasn't cussed in 5 minutes. He's a robot.
So, listen, for real, I'm in the process of building a worker service that's going to run on my computer, that's going to listen to you guys, and it's going to record you guys and put it all into a binary memory stream and then send that up to Azure. And then Azure's speech recognition service, if I can ever fucking get this set up, is going to pull out tickers and things from our conversations and put all that into a chart. I can post that to Reddit if I'm not a degenerate and actually get this built. And eventually, if I'm smart enough and I pay Azure money, they will allow me to use their AI to build personas for all of you guys so that I know specifically who is telling me plays.
And then to further that, eventually it'll be like, like the deep fake of people's faces. Everything that you say can get recorded, and the way you talk and the pattern you talk and the way you think can eventually be simulated to a degree of, your current opinion.
3 seconds. It takes 3 seconds of conversation with Azure's AI right now for it to become you. 3 seconds of conversation with.
Watkey, I don't consent to any recording of my voice without express written consent from my legal team and payments based on a percentage of revenue earned through my likeness and others.
So it's actually really
What he
interesting.
said.
It's
What he
actually
said.
really interesting that I'm putting all this in a memory stream and then throwing it all away. And the only thing that I'm pulling out of it is the word ticker and like the next following 4 words. I don't want to know who you are or anything like that.
So I'm just curious, how are you going to?
So if I say tick your dick,
when Teddy joins, how are we going to, for usernames like that? How are we going to?
I don't want usernames. I'm not collecting usernames.
How's that going to work when journalists talk?
Journalists won't be talking, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's move on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I would love. Now I have to shave my voice. If you could make me, that would be amazing.
Hey, Brad, I
got a
managed to
question.
pick up some more. I managed to pick up some more. Brad,
Yo,
for you, baby.
Take my personality and put it in a dating app so that people can like virtually date me, and then just give me a little bit of a pinch of that, just a little taste of that.
Yeah, that's not a terrible investment, actually.
So question though, like, wouldn't that be easily manipulated? It would just be like people spamming in fucking WallStreetBets about fucking meme stocks and shit.
Well,
which has changed what exactly?
Yeah, I'm a limp and I get manipulated all left and right all the time.
So yeah, I'm not interested in building personas for you guys. I'm not going to be doing that. But what I do want to accomplish is very seriously to move this audio into a memory stream so that I can pull out. I want to hear the word ticker, and when I hear the word ticker, I just want to capture like the next 4 words, and that's it. I want to put that on a display and put it in front of my face. That's all I'm looking for.
Okay, so when we mention a ticker, we state ticker WWE, ticker.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
All you have to do, I don't know why you guys are overcomplicating this. You can literally just have a set of data that just has all the words of these tickers that you have, and then just train the algorithm to memorize those tickers, and then just automatically feed that back to you, rather than trying to assume that somebody is talking. Because I mumble when I talk sometimes, so I can assume that your algorithm's gonna obviously.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't care. I don't even care if it's accurate. I just want to, like, if you think about it, it's compounding over time. And if we're talking like today, we've talked about BBBY so much that there's no way that I'm not going to see a sentiment in front of me out of this conversation, even if I don't show up for it. Right? Like at this point, I can just have a bot come in this chat and listen to you guys, and then come back to it 2 hours from now and have a UI that says, "Hey, they talked a lot about Bobby today. Whatever. I need to go look at that."
Wacky, can I
Okay,
put
I
one
see what you're saying.
request?
Yeah, let's see.
Can I just have one request for this?
Sure.
Can you splice out Opinion's voice so that you can get the sentence, "I do work for Citadel. I have been holding back the stock. I am the bad guy," and we can post it to Super Stonk as a proof clip?
I can try really hard, but I'm really not that good at programming.
I know Opinion would appreciate that if we could put that up there, maybe on like April 1st. I'm sure it would make him very happy.
Yeah, April 1st.
Just
Can we do that on
just
January
remember Aaron
31st
Schwartz.
and April 1st?
Just remember Aaron Schwartz. That's all.
Yeah, okay. We'll remember Aaron Schwartz. Thank you. All I want to say is that January 31st and April 1st, for those that live overseas, I'd appreciate that. Furthermore, I just want to let you guys know that BBBY stock you guys told me to buy, I'm glad I didn't buy it. That's all I want to say. You guys are really sold on that.
AMC is up
But it's up.
15%, so clearly Avatar is the future of cinema and has saved the world.
Yeah. I didn't watch it. Is it good?
It is not.
I mean, okay, let me ask you this.
Well, half and half. I've seen it, and the special effects and the CGI were pretty amazing, but the storyline was extremely weak, I thought.
So it's the same movie again. Okay.
Yes. Same movie, only more water.
Fair enough.
Just replace the first movie's stuff about, hey, we shouldn't exploit the resources for unobtainium with, hey, we shouldn't kill whales for whatever, and you've pretty much got the movie. But then set it in water battles instead of tree battles.
I just want to say one thing about AMC. I drive by the movie theater every day to take my dog to this amazing dog park, and it is always empty. No matter what time I go, it's like maybe. It's
Can I ask a question that I could probably Google? Does AMC sell like monthly passes?
Yes.
They do, and the other thing that they sell that they don't really advertise is that you can rent out a whole fucking theater for a personal party. I never knew that. I think that'd be freaking blast.
Second question: Do they have a stream?
No, they don't have they don't have a home streaming service. The premise is supposed to be that it looks better at the theater and you want the theater experience. But they will do stuff like events where they'll be like, "Oh, hey, this baseball game is showing at AMC if you want to go watch it at the theater because you don't live anywhere near the ballpark." Do stuff like that.
So AMC.
Sorry.
Go ahead. You
Oh, I was just gonna say it'd be really cool if they allowed it to be like you could have like a party of people that aren't with each other watch a movie together. You know, like that's a new movie that because like I guess it does come out on Prime and shit.
Well, yeah, they don't. I was gonna. They don't have access to the IP like that. They have to show it. I mean, it's a food business. AMC is a food business, right? They're selling popcorn.
Well, the ability to show it at your home on a television screen is a very different license that they would have to work out than to show it at theaters. It's not so simple.
Yeah, I just like thought about that. They don't own the movies; they show them. Yeah.
No, they lose money on the movies. They make it like was said. It's a food company. They make money on their concessions. They do not make money on those movies.
So when I watch The Walking Dead, and that's made by AMC, right? Is that the same AMC?
No, that is AMC. That is a different corporation than AMC Entertainment.
Then I have no idea how this fucking cinema company is even alive.
Because of the apes. And I'm not even exaggerating. A lot of their debt was settled by the apes.
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe go ask somebody who's in line to see a movie why they like going to the movies.
That's what I'm saying. There's nobody in line to see a movie. I don't remember the last time I saw a theater that was full.
So
My kid
this-
loves
hold on.
movies.
You're speaking right now to why this is a company that's a $2 billion market cap with a $5 billion debt, because there aren't people going to the movies because of COVID, because of other things, because people just have streaming services. There's a lot of reasons. So yes, they're in a lot of trouble. The reason they didn't shut down in like 2021 was literally because the apes pumped the stock to the point where they could raise enough capital to make it through that period. And that's what they've been living off of. I mean, that's pretty much what's kept them afloat, is that the apes put the stock to a point where they could raise enough capital to buy themselves some years.
Me personally, I still like to go to the movies, but only for certain ones, like, when all the Marvel movies came out. I loved seeing Endgame in the theater. If I saw that at home, wouldn't have been nearly as good.
I will say that I'm much more interested in going to a theater because they're empty. And so, like, there's a 3D theater in the town next to me, and we went and watched Jurassic World Dominion there when it came out. Like, my son wanted to go see it, and it was his birthday. And that was a very entertaining experience, but more so, it was entertaining for me because I was one of, like, literally 4 adults in the entire building. The people working there were teenagers. Seriously, I was, like, one of 4 people that were over the age of, like, 25.
And for kids, like for teens that are not old enough to get into bars and stuff like that, it's a good place to go for a date. Hold hands in the seats and stuff like that. It's like for teenagers, they like doing that stuff. I've got a bunch of nieces and nephews that are teens all over the place.
The movie
AMC
theater near me sells beer, and I think more movie theaters should sell beer.
A liquor license is a whole nother thing for corporations
Yeah,
to apply for, and will also be on a very state by state basis. But what they need, what I personally, random Reddit dude, thinks that they should be doing is spending more time on the individualized experience. Like things like, hey, don't come see a movie, come hook up your PlayStation and play Call of Duty with your buddies on the best screen you've ever had in your life. Like,
oh damn,
that's what they need to start pushing towards, personally.
Like you want beer in there, but they can barely afford popcorn, man.
Totally agree with that. No, I totally agree with the bringing your friends and hooking your plaything up to the screen.
I do too. They're missing a big opportunity.
I like the idea of, I mean, that's where you go to hook up with a girl that you're only allowed to see on special occasions because your parents don't want you to
I know.
be together.
I got 13-year-olds.
Private booths.
I got 13-year-olds, and they're not dating yet, but they're thinking about it, and I don't think that they're going to ask me to take them to a movie theater.
Oh,
So-
they 100% will.
Wait. So AMC streams Netflix, and then you can have the ultimate AMC Netflix and chill package, and boom.
Damn. Wait, it's like that Netflix show where they come in and make your room a sex room. It's the same thing, except it's AMC. They just make that whole theater a sex room, and yeah. It's a good business model. I like it. And, we say the same thing about Grindr. Sex sells, right?
The slogan can be AMC more, AM do more. Oh man, we got it.
God damn. Why are we not CEOs?
Because it's a lot of work.
So much work.
Look, we're all going to pitch in $1 and buy Carvana soon, and then we're going to keep all the car vending machines at Opinion's house until we can figure out what to do with them. So we'll be CEOs.
So I just want to throw something out there, just because we're talking about CEOs. You look at a company like AMC, and you look at all these companies that are laying massive amounts of employees off right now, and you look at their executive compensation packages. And what's wild to me is that 40 years ago, the average executive was only making probably 20 times the median income of the employees that the given company employed. Right now, in 2022, these guys are making around 300 times the median salary. And I'm kind of just wondering if anyone actually thinks that any of these companies are ever going to be viable again while you're still paying, 5 to 6 executives 300 times the median employee's salary. I mean, just think about how many employees you're laying people off, you're losing talent, and you're paying one guy 300 people's worth of salary. Like, AMC is the same way. I mean, I'm never going to believe in this company until they stop paying their flipping CEO $2.something million. Like,
Well, I have good news for you. Adam Aaron is planning on deferring salary next year. So there you go. Now you're bullish.
No, I mean, I saw that there was a salary freeze. I didn't see that there was a deferment of salary.
Or I guess a freeze. You're right, but still be bullish.
Yeah, there's a difference between a salary freeze and him saying, "I'm not going to take my money." He's saying,
well,
"I'm not."
freezes are temporary, technically speaking. So,
he sold so much of his own shares personally. Like, the guy's probably just gonna coast and.
Yeah, no. Granted, I'll tell you something. I think he's doing the right thing. Like, don't
too little.
I mean, like, the fact that he is doing that, he's doing the right thing. But I mean, a lot of these companies, man, they're just like hemorrhaging money to their executive.
So what you're saying at the end of the day is it's bad business, and ultimately, I think what it means is that it's impossible to be long on a company if they're making decisions like that.
Precisely.
Well, it becomes very technically difficult because there's like agreements made and signed. Like those guys have, and I'm gonna give more information than I should, but I mean they've signed like 5-year employment contracts that have out clauses, and so it's just
Man, no, we're not disagreeing. There's no disagreement here with that statement. We understand like the difficulty that these companies have getting out of these contracts once they get in. But it's just been, this is a bad business practice that's been kind of escalating over the last 20 years, and it's coming home to roost. I mean, like,
it's business. So, it's interesting. I'm currently job hunting. I'm a software engineer. Been in the field for about 4 years now, and so the range of salaries that are on my desk right now is astonishing, and my inbox is destroyed, and my voicemails are full, and everything else. But what's really interesting is that the lower range of this salary, when I have conversations with those people, they're kind of hesitant, right? They're like, "This is as much as we can do." But then the top range, when those people get interested in me, they're like, "What else can we do? What else can we? We're already giving you far more money and benefits than anyone else, but you're still kind of hesitating. What else can we do?" And so if I'm a CEO, right, if that's happening to me as a fuckbag engineer, if I'm a CEO that has some clout and some title, then fuck, I can't even imagine what these companies are doing trying to get this person to come on. So when you say that 5-year contract, yeah, it's like, I'll give you 300% of the median income of this company if you stay here for 5 years because I want you so bad.
Yeah, it turns into an interesting thing. It's really weird.
They're offering him weekly trips behind the Wendy's dumpster.
I love the Wendy's. I love Wendy's. That Frosty is so good, the chocolate one.
I bought a house recently, and there's a giant Wendy's sign in one of the second floor rooms, like screwed to the wall. It's really cool. I'm never taking it off the wall.
Oh man, what did I want to say?
I will also say oh man, and I do not work for Ken Griffin, but
yeah,
I've sat on the boards of companies, and some of the CEOs that run them, they're just amazing, and they have to manage so many people, and it's a special talent.
Can I just stop you and call your BS? The people that run the companies.
No, you can't, because it's true.
No, that's not true. The people that run the companies are the HR ladies and men. It is not the
Bro,
CEOs.
you are not
We're
wrong.
also being laid off right now because they've basically stopped hiring. So your HR is pretty much out the door and recruitment.
So I don't know what industry you're in. I'm software. I'm a tech guy, and that's happening to us, right? We're all getting laid off. I got laid off for Christmas. It was fucking fantastic. But what I've learned is that it's not real. Like this whole the tech market is dying. No, it's not. What's happening is that a fuckload of gigantic companies way overextended, and now we don't want to fucking go to Facebook anymore. And Amazon's dying because we're all tired of their bullshit, and so they're laying people off because they can't afford them. But what's actually happening on the back end is all the companies that you've never heard of are scooping up amazing fucking developers, and so I am buried in jobs, literally buried. There is no lack of work for a developer. I don't know why the fuck they're laying people off.
I can't tell if you're
hold on,
looking
can
for
I
a
ask you-
job. Oh, sorry, Rod. Go ahead.
I want to ask Waukik a question, and
Throw it at me.
if you don't want to answer, I perfectly understand. But there's
Fair enough.
reasoning behind it. Just two questions. One, did you work for what would be considered a relatively large company? And two, if so, did you receive what would be considered at least a decent to generous severance type package that lasted for a bit? And if you don't want to answer, that's fine.
The first one's complicated to answer. The second one is no. I'll be completely honest with you. I've been quietly quitting jobs for the better part of 6 years now, just kind of fucking around, to be honest with you, and wasting time. But the thing is that it's fucking astonishing to me that my salary continues to go up every time I get fired from it behooves me as a software engineer to get fired. It behooves me to. It behooves me because I will fucking gain $7,000 a year over year in my salary if I get fired from jobs. It's fucking insane.
And I want to clarify my
tell you-
reason for inquiry was because I do have a strong feeling that a lot of the jobs numbers aren't reflecting actual people who are going to be looking for jobs, because a lot of those Amazon firees and whatnot are sitting on 3-month severance packages, so they haven't gone to unemployment yet. So that's why I was inquiring.
The reason that I pointed out that I fucked around and found out is because I don't get a severance package in those situations, right? I don't know. If they had laid me off, like legitimately, they might have given me $5,000, maybe. Probably not even that. But the company was a consulting company that I was working for, and that was contracting with Navient. And I think most of you know what Navient is. You would be surprised how many motherfuckers don't know what Navient is, though.
I own that stock.
I don't know.
I have found in my career that the less I work, the more I get paid. It's insane.
Yep, it's absolutely insane. I seriously, I don't know the last time that I actually put serious effort into my job.
I mean, I'm at work right now. I mean, you guys can only guess how much money I make.
So my Apex, for real, the job that I
$1
lost,
million a year.
the job that I lost prior to this job that I'm losing right now in Christmas is I was there for 2.5 years. I have 2,000 hours in Apex Legends that I did on the clock at that company.
Being a laborer is the wrong job, apparently.
See,
This is so fucking funny, dude.
So
I
I
get a
apologize. I don't mean to interrupt, but I also just recently went through getting laid off 2 days after Christmas. And I kind of have to agree with what he's been saying, because there's a lot of companies out there right now that are hiring people in the tech space and just giving them a job and then saying, like, here's a desk, here's a computer, get to work. And a lot of the times these companies might not even understand like what it is you're actually qualified for and what you do. And so I just had a job where I sat around for 6-7 months before the CEO of the company realized that there wasn't anything for me to really be doing. And so he fired me.
You got to be
Same.
the equity. You got to be
Is
the
this-
equity.
Is this
And
Wall Street Bets Confessions, or what are we doing?
No, no. This is We're going down a path that we don't know.
Yeah,
We're on a train. We don't know
so
where the train leads us. But
I do like
you got to
this
be you got to be the equity in the company.
But
I mean,
I'm not sure if this is like really going anywhere. And like, I
Okay.
only I get paid in like nothing. So I want to keep my job here as a host. So if you guys can just spice it up a little bit and add some like real good drama, maybe we can stick it
Well,
around.
I think Navi was just interested. Like that is an interesting company. It is the student loan business, I believe. I think that was
Well,
what was right.
AI,
Yeah, I did know.
Elliot, Watt is literally describing how he is the root cause of all of our pain and suffering for the recession. I mean, how could it get more dramatic than that?
Because he said he loved getting fired, and I don't think some people love getting fired personally. But makes me wonder his work ethic within some respects. But I digress from that point. My other comment is that at the end of the day, the reality is that it doesn't matter if you worked for a big company or a small company. If you're getting fired, keyword fired, and not laid off or getting a severance package, I believe at that point you can't file unemployment. Is that correct?
Yeah, you
That's
can
correct.
file unemployment as long as you don't resign. Your resignation will lose it for you. If you get fired, you can do unemployment.
Okay.
But however, the company can argue it. But
It depends on the cause. If you
Yeah.
get fired for constantly being late, if you get fired for being late, or you get fired for not showing up for work, it's called abandoning your job. You don't get unemployment for that. You can file for it, but you won't get it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think what Waukik is speaking to, that is kind of the bigger picture, is it's not so much that getting fired is great. It's that you will, for many fields, find that your salary increases are significantly greater across companies than internally.
Yes, I would agree. But
I agree with
Valid
Go
point.
ahead.
One thing I do want to point out with, I know there's been a discussion of how the government views unemployment. So, and a lot of talk about whether or not people are collecting unemployment checks. That's not actually the only way that they collect employment information. So many large companies, so the Amazons, the Googles, Walmarts, they are actually required to report their payrolls to the government. And it's actually, so you can actually look up people's payrolls through Equifax throughout the year. So it's not actually, it's not just when people file for unemployment that they get listed as unemployed. They can actually, the payroll changes are actually reported. So they can see when 10,000 people suddenly disappear from the payroll.
How about LVMUY? Let's talk stocks.
Before we do, just last thing I just wanted to say was that I think Waukik's experience is actually pretty typical of like 2 years ago, the rampant hiring and sloppy management of tech stocks with the employment numbers and who they were getting, and just shows that like they have a lot of fat that they needed to trim last year, and that's all. LUVY, huh?
LVMUY, yeah. Love that stock. It's a sin stock for sure, but I love that stock.
What does it do?
It's Louis Vuitton. Moet Hennessy. It is old French money.
I was gonna say, isn't that Moet Hennessy?
Yes. Yes. It's Louis Vuitton, so it's like the purses that you see the privileged women carrying around, plus booze. So it is both luxury and booze.
All right, bros. What do you think of these ladies' purses?
I love them. I love the
Purses?
fact that people love purses so much that they go to Prada, they go to Chanel, and they go all these places, and they're like, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. And then 10 years later, they're like, I still gotta get it. I wish I invented purses.
It's a never-ending cycle, basically. They have to have the next color, the next pattern. the next
Well, I mean,
release
some of
by
their
whatever
fucking
artist.
values. Sorry, I was gonna say some of their values increase, because like they make them, they push them for that year, they don't. So some of the designs and stuff, their value increases.
Right, it's like making
art
a
mixed
supercar
with.
that's limited release.
Some of them are on the blockchain.
So I think the question to consider if you want to go long that type of stock is if you're one of those in the mindset, because I know a lot of Wall Street Bets is in the mindset of recession soon. So then the question becomes, is that a potentially recession-proof business? Is their clientele so wealthy that it won't impact them? Or is it conversely potentially impacted? Is it something that upper middle class people splurge on that they would then pull back if a recession came and they needed to save?
See, that's a good question
Yeah.
because what's their
I was gonna
demographic
ask.
of who's buying?
I was gonna ask if the liquor part of their company is gonna help them float if a recession does come.
Of course, yeah. But I went on a date with this woman in New York, and she had this whole cabinet filled with purses.
Damn, run.
And I ran hard. Yeah, I understand. But I'm just saying,
red flag.
They love their purses, and then you got the booze behind it.
That's the only thing my sister spends money on is fucking restaurants, alcohol, and clothes. She doesn't spend her money on anything else.
But is she
Ladies,
spending it on Louis Vuitton, and is that something that she would not cut out of her budget if money
If
became
sister
tight?
was attractive, she would have to
I
spend
think
money
so,
on alcohol.
yes, because she does exclusively wear only luxury stuff. Even though she's a lower middle class person who makes less than 75 grand a year, she'll still go out and spend whatever disposable income she has to buy that new Prada bag or whatever the fuck. I don't get it.
If she's attractive, she doesn't have to buy drinks. They get them bought for them.
All right. Well, as much as I enjoy trying to decipher the female condition, I think we are pretty much at time for today. I think we've got maybe like 2 minutes, and then we can transition everyone over maybe to a Discord voice channel. Does that sound good to you guys? Actually, I will answer that for you. Yes, it sounds great.
Sounds good.
Speaking of makeup, there's some good makeup stocks out there for the ladies. I must mention.
I want to hear this. I'll write them all down.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about stock tickers because that's what we're supposed to be talking about here at Wall Street Bets. Speaking of Wall Street Bets, if you're not on the WSB Discord, please come over to the WSB Discord. If you can't find a link, then go to the comment section here, and opinions comment is sticky, and you'll find the WSB Discord. You can gamble. That's right. You can gamble on the WSB Discord. There's stimulus checks being handed out left and right. But you wouldn't know that unless you're on the WSB Discord. So come on over to the main chat. We have streams, we have games, we have everything you can imagine. And we have friendships. That's right. We have people that stick around and don't leave the channels. They actually talk to you. And we have some bots in there too. And your lovely visual mod is there as well. I'm going to take up to 2 minutes and wait for everyone to go over there right now. Because Opinion is there. I'm there. Rad's there. Everyone's there. And
Rad is not there.
Rad better
Sounds like a fantastic idea.
Rad is not there. Don't put Rad on that.
You'll have to excuse me for my ignorance, but does anybody know if Visual Mod is actually like a real person?
Yeah, he's a real person actually, but we don't really let you know that at the end of the day. So he's a real person.
I always see people arguing in the chat about how he's a fucking
hold on. We can neither confirm nor deny if Visual Mod is or isn't a real person, but I will let you know. It is in your best interest to end the line of questioning there and move forward with your day.
Correct. Right. Buddy, let's go to the WSB Discord. Please go there. Thank you for showing up today. This is a long talk, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Opinion, for hosting this. Thank you, Rad. Thank you, everyone. I hope you made some money today. If you didn't, come back tomorrow because we have CPI.
Very excited for that, and I am 100% sure whatever background color I choose will be wrong, so I will be choosing green. So let that be my advice to you. All right. See you all
Wait,
tomorrow.
so
Can-
and so the Discord is safe.
Well, you'll probably still lose money in there, but yeah, it's safe.
Opinion, can I request green background with chat title chat is transitory in big letters?
Chat is transitory.
Or morning talks are transitory, whichever one you want to go with.
I believe her name is Chadita now. But yeah, we'll see what we can do for the title. All right. Well, thanks everyone for coming, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Cheers for now.